All right, so I finally spoke to the. Oh, was I on the live stream? Yeah, I had to shut it off because I was talking to someone, and then I'm like, I should probably shut this off because um, I don't think that person wants me to be on the phone with her during the live stream. Yeah, I'm not actually like a jerk. Like I think she started saying something about not talking to other people about something she was saying or something. So I went, yeah, I better shut this off. I'm respectful of other people. I don't even know how viewable I am on the internet, but I'm respectful of other people when they specifically say that. So it was just, yep, okay. You can't hear what she's saying, but I'm like, I gotta shut this off. So I'm starting to like calm down a little bit, and I'm already starting to like urinate. So I was probably on lockdown because I wasn't drinking water. So we'll see how I feel tomorrow after drinking. And I'm definitely like spotting. So it does this. Like that photograph of me and Brian, I had a full on menstrual cycle. That was probably the last month. I might have had one after that. I'm trying to think. It was probably like August to September is probably the last one. So that's a long time. I'm going to be 53, folks. So, anyways, that's enough. I don't really like all my life. I've never enjoyed topic conversations about periods. I know I didn't know I was that type of person, but it seems like it was obvious. I don't know because people grow up in different environments, but I didn't know I was like a lady like that until I got older. It's just that people are different. It doesn't mean something's right or wrong. Sometimes it's just some people are wicked discreet, I guess, and it's just, anyways. Um, Yeah, I like it contributes to being cold because it is a chillier day, and it just so happened we ran out of oil right on that day. He probably would have ordered more oil. That's how they always were because she would be here cold like this, and he knew it was getting cold. He probably would have ordered oil again on the first or the second or whatever. So, um, yeah, I mean, the shelter is really reiterating that I stay here as long as I can. So it seems like there's people that are trying to do crisis management and stuff. So I don't want to, I'm trying not to get into it too much. But um, the mother has other next of kin. So I can't speak for all of her children. I can only speak for myself. And then if I'm asked to, if people that are dealing with all of that want to know my opinion or whatever, my thoughts about it, then right. Um, so some things that we would have to find out if they're true or not, because I know in the past things were like that. I don't know what's going on currently. I wasn't an expert in it, but yeah, I mean, I think Tommy wondered that himself. Like, but the world is changing rapidly, so a lot of people are getting ill and they're not working, and people don't want to pay for things. So, in the past, as someone that's a disabled veteran like that would probably be, yeah, because you got to think about all the things she used to get before she needed, excuse me, people coming in. She had a whole team of people coming in before, and she fired them all. So, yeah, sometimes they do have people that get paid by the VA. It doesn't even come out of her income, I don't think. It's just she's entitled to those benefits, like a home health aid. So things like that. I'm pretty sure, like, if someone had been working and they stopped working to provide care, then they get paid. Um, that only applies to children that were working before. I looked it up already. Yeah, I looked it up after Tommy died, I think. So probably like that evening or something when I had a chance, or the next day or something. But it was probably that evening. So I found more of his paperwork this morning, as I explained. I found out some more things about probate, which have to do with Thomas Kent. So I think I was kind of like maybe advised about that by God, that to, put the brakes on it a little bit. Hopefully everyone understands what happened yesterday. Okay. It wasn't really intended for that to happen, but I'm in a house now without Tommy. Okay. And so, right, it's just Barbara and another person coming here. And I'm not making any of these phone calls. That person is, because some of it was taking paperwork and I don't have his wallet and stuff. And I'm not saying I would have done that. Right. Like, I'm definitely not against people that take action for stuff, especially to do with things that have to be done. Like, immediately you have to talk to the medical examiner, you have to talk to a funeral home. I think they explained it to Cynthia. So she said something about doing that, and I said, okay. Um, something, when people delegate, sometimes people take it the wrong way. But anyways, I know it is nice to just sort of like sit here and then someone's like, I'm going to do everything. And you go, all right. So that's not really to do with anything with Tom Kent's estate. Okay. So I guess that has to go to probate because he died. Barbara Kent didn't die. Okay. So clearly Barbara Kent is Tom Kent's next of kin, unless he designated someone because that's his mother. Right. So I mentioned it earlier. Like, obviously, if you go crazy and you're like all concerned about money, you go, well, if I have possession of her, then that means this. And you go, yeah, I mean, legally, yeah, legally, it does mean that. I would assume. Right. You just go, okay, yeah. I would assume if you take possession of her, that, and she's Tom Kent's next of kin, legally, yeah. So I don't know. I live in a fantasy world, I guess, where I think you should consider other people's need when things happen. So uh, I felt I was doing that. Okay. So, anyways, I guess there's a concern. You might as well not keep it a secret because, right, I guess there's a concern by other people that are not me, that do have a say in Barbara Kent's care. Now that Tommy has passed away, they didn't get involved with it before. Okay. So apparently, there's a concern about not wanting Cynthia to take over care of her. So just so that's out there and people are aware, that's not really something I initiated. I'm not really going to state an opinion about it yet. Um, uh, so there's people that are more familiar with things, whereas I haven't really been paying that much attention or having as much contact with people. And I wasn't actually aware until I spoke with people that her other children are interested in having a say in her care. I did not know that. So I do apologize if it seemed like I don't have the authority to hand everything over to Cynthia. I don't. So, and I'm not an aggressive, confrontational person. So I would apologize if it seemed like I was doing that. I wasn't aware, and I didn't have people's phone numbers and stuff. So people took care of that so that they can contact me. So I guess Saturday, the siblings. So people are going to have to tolerate it with if they're having issues with people. There's a meeting at the funeral home about Tommy's arrangements. Yeah, I was hoping to avoid that. Yeah. I can hear since I put my phone on the charger that now it's being text. But I just spent an inordinate amount of time on the phone with Candy and Scott. So, um, I hadn't spoken to Candy in about 4 years, and it's been quite a while since I started speaking with Scott like 2 days ago, simply because we didn't have contact information for each other, and I didn't have a phone until last April. So um, I do, like I said, understand a lot of different points of view. Um, I do actually understand why Candy left like that, and um, I understand. I know all about the thing about the restraining order, and I had similar sort of concerns about Tommy, which for me may have not exactly been warranted. Um, but he had shown up at the shelter before, like banging on the glass door and stuff. I think some of the stuff he was doing, he didn't know was like seeming scary to me, because it's probably scary to people about me being in the shelter. This was a while ago, though. Just what's going on in there, and how is she, like? How would you have her in a place where we can't talk to her? Like, because they're calling there and they're not telling them, and you go, you're clearly not helping her with domestic violence, right? It's different people now. This was like years ago. That becomes concerning. It's confusing to people, um, right? When you keep throwing a person outside, and then you're wondering why a shelter won't tell you she's there. But yeah, the people that work in that bubble thing, it's a whole different building now, but the people that work in that bubble thing, they come and go, and that's not the people that give out the housing. Just a FYI. In their defense, it's not. Um, I know obviously you get mad at shit, especially when you're in it. Those people, and it one staff member is not the whole people. Like, there's volunteers, there's people that get paid. It changes. It's not easy working with a whole bunch of homeless people. So um, I think the corporation itself and the case managers, right, and let barring other information, like there isn't a program for me or something, or whatever the hell has happened over 13 years. But obviously, don't stop biting the hand that feeds you when you probably end up back there. But it's not like I would say anything different if I wasn't going to end up back there at this point. I think that was pretty fair given everything that's happened. But um, like I said, I felt that some of the people working there were having cognitive problems, but maybe they're generally nice. I don't know. But, anyways, they even said to wait. So the cops said to wait. They said to wait. Apparently, the landlord said to wait. And now Candy is asking me to wait. So, yeah, I know before it seemed like I was just taking off, but clearly there was an issue. There was a problem. Okay. So I don't want to do it. I don't want to pile on to a person, even though I don't personally care for. I don't want to do it because I know that she's having an emotional upset because Tommy was the only person she was talking to. She told me that her mother is in advanced care now since December, unless people can get her up walking. She never saw a doctor in the whole time she was here. Okay, so I can't get involved in whatever it was that her and Tommy decided. I will say this, maybe Candy didn't know this, I didn't think of it at the time, that she did, they tried to take her to the VA when her face was swollen up, and they wouldn't take her, and it was probably because Barbara didn't want to do it. Okay. So they must feel she can still somewhat speak for herself, which is why I felt it would be good for her to go to the hospital first. I think I've been saying that. I'm not going to keep saying it, but I can say I need you to leave. I think I have the right to do that. And if the reason you keep coming here is your mother, then take your mother with you. Please, at least for right now. Okay? It's going to keep dinging now. I don't know. Watch, it's probably the woman from the shelter. I guess. Yeah, I will check it. I'm not ignoring you. Just I might as well finish my. Yeah, it's all mine. I might as well finish my talk flow. Hopefully, it's not Cindy. I know. So she also is going to have empty nest syndrome because one of her children just moved out, and I'm pretty sure she told me the other one is moving out. Okay, so yeah, I think take the time, spend at least a couple of days with your mother, um, especially while your son is still there, because Saturday she's going to need to be at the funeral home. Okay, So today's what, Thursday? All right. Uh, Apparently Kathy planned a vacation, so she just wanted to know if she had to cancel it. It's 4 days, so she was told that she didn't have to cancel it. So it's the appointment's not till Saturday anyway. So, um, God, I haven't seen Kathy in decades, but I don't know if Jim is coming. So no, I didn't go to Tom Kent Jr. services because I had no relationship with him. Right. Probably. I'm sure that's not uncommon either, where you just go, oh God, I just don't even want to do this. It goes beyond Tommy's dead, but I've never liked those things. Yeah. I don't think I need it. Yeah. Like I actually don't, I understand it. But I hate weeks. I absolutely hate weeks. Just, it's not because of the emotional upset about it. I just hate weeks. No, you would have to wake me. Yeah, everyone's got to stare at my dead body. Just for the record, everyone's got to stare at my dead body, especially after what's happened to me. So if a whole bunch of time goes on, and uh, I'll change my mind, I'll let you know. But everyone on the planet should probably, everyone in Massachusetts, everyone on the planet should have to pass by my coffin when I myself can't stand weeks. So, um, funerals are not as bad. I don't like the seeing of viewing a body like that. I really don't like it. So, um, no, that's not why I told her to take her mother out of here. No, no, nothing can be as bad as what I already just went through, other than other people that are your friends, your husband, your children, something that's um, you're not at a wake. Is it different than the wake? I don't know. Is it really different than the wake? I guess wakes are always freaky to me. I got to say, I haven't been to that many of them. I avoid them. I really avoid them. So, um, anyways, well, I feel pretty similar to him because I didn't really have any friends in my phone either. Obviously, Jen would talk to me if I knew how to get in touch with her, but that was my fault for doing that because I was with Brian at the time. And then I had no way to contact her because I still don't think that's her on Facebook. Yeah, well, I was talking to Scott about Brian. He's like, he's probably not doing too good. I go, I know. He's either that or he died. But there was no obituary for him. So, yeah, he was talking about all the different things that, places, hideouts, and stuff that people go to. Um, yeah, that was a big, big thing. Um, I'm sure Tommy died still believing that he was supposed to do that, but that was like kind of the final straw with me in terms of having any type of relationship with me. Just even conversations become difficult. So I could tell that he was trying, but the man was definitely mentally ill. Like I explained, that seems to be the consensus of the family. And what do you do with the person that's that mentally ill? You have to section them to a hospital. I think that if he had a normal brain for a day, that's what he would say. Why the hell in all those years did you people not section me to a hospital? So no, I don't want to be sectioned to a hospital. No. So yeah, like people like Jen, she knows I'm never going to put up with that stuff either. right? So they just can't do it. Especially someone who never got away from his mother or his father. He was always enabled to be doing what he's doing. Like, you feel bad, you want to protect them, but hospitals nowadays, no. But back in the day, 25, 30 years ago, um, especially 25 years ago, he definitely could have done to be mandated to a hospital. Maybe they didn't think he fit the criteria uh, to be involuntary sectioned for 72 hours. I don't know. Now I'm going to start getting hot flashes. Yeah, it's got to be the menopause. It's like it makes you more colder when it's cold out too. I've noticed. I certainly haven't taken a walk in 4 days. Remember that? This is the last day of my carb week. I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna eat. I have chicken that's hopefully not going bad, which is not carbohydrates, but um, you do. You do that thing where you keep trying every time. It's not every time I go in the bathroom where you're trying to reenact, and I can't exactly remember like to the detail what I saw now. But someone took pictures, right? Like when they got here. Okay, because I was wondering about his sneaker if it just fell off when they were moving him. Maybe. Yeah, it would make me feel worse. Why is his sneaker off if he was unconscious? Yeah. So I got to stop worrying about it because the woman said he didn't hit his head or anything. So yeah, it says in the stuff, even when they claim they can repair it, it's just that moment, and then they could have another tear. Yeah, so if it's that, I don't know. I'm not anywhere near death, but I'm sure this is going to make everybody in the family. Yeah, just they'll start giving me that look. Are you going to it? No, I'm a do not treat. It makes it worse. You have to trust my doctors. It makes it worse. I'm not Tom Kent. Okay. He didn't have a liver like I do. And things are way different now, as you know. So I'm a do not treat. So no, I don't do it. I don't go to doctors. So when I first got here, Tommy said he wanted money. So I called for a medical transport because I was going to try to get Social Security on a psych. But I didn't feel good. I was having a panic attack and they were screaming and yelling. It's a typical thing. Shaken, panic attack. Um, so the doctor's office said, I don't understand why you're calling us. Who have you been seeing for a doctor all this time? No one. But they made the appointment anyway, and I'm sure they weren't surprised when I didn't show up. When I went to DTA, I go, I don't know. This is in 2022. I go, I don't know. He says he needs money. I don't know. And then I never got back to them. That's when I couldn't walk out to Quincy because I was walking to a doctor's appointment. And God went, I don't think so. Not today. So I can walk out to Quincy. I just couldn't do it that day. So um, they still have the shelter, but just so people know, did I mention this? It's a warming center right now and they're at capacity. So yeah, because clearly everyone that's on the street needed to go in there last night. So I knew it last night. It's not the time to hit up a shelter at all. Look at the snow. So that's crazy right there. Yeah. Focus on stuff like that and not battle warring people, please, because You don't know how limited your time is. Like, yeah, that dude gave up the last 2 years of his life. Um, Trailer, not even paid off. He obviously had two separate plans for his retirement, and he locked in his Social Security. And then he got rooked into caring for his mother. He could have been spending 2 years driving that trailer around. So someone told me that Cindy's saying something about me living in the trailer and a driver. They're probably trying to figure out because they don't want me to go back to the shelter. Sometimes people can do that for a while and then let it go because that's what the shelter's for. But we'll see. See what's going on. He owes $10,000 on the trailer, so someone would come and kick Mary out of it and haul the thing away. I can't live with Cindy. Like some things are about acceptance, and people be like, "What, a shelter?" Yes, I can't live with her. Like I just know my stress level over the past couple of days. I can't do it. I'll be dead. I'll be the next one dead on a bathroom floor. I can't do it. Just it's way it when a person has high blood pressure and a medical condition already, it's too much stress. So I said I didn't want to make her feel bad, so I don't want to keep doing that. Um, but I think it's important for her to have people around her and stuff because it's an upsetting time. Um, yeah, so um, I feel kind of bad because I had to explain I'm responsible for it because I told her to take her out of here. Yeah. So it was because of the situation, right? Just if I have to leave a house, I wanted to figure out what I'm doing, and she's here to provide care and stuff, and it's just I do. I think that Candy is definitely interested in trying to have a relationship with her mother again of some kind. So I think that's really good. I think that would be really good for both of them. So give people time to think about it. She was saying something about they have apartments where she's living. So um, not she's going to take over her care. No, but yeah, because they might know that Cindy doesn't really want to do it. It's just that everyone knows the woman didn't want to go into a nursing home. So, I don't know. I still think that people should give her a chance without Tommy around because it was very stressful. But yeah, I mean, that's Barbara every time, and then things get. But I told you, it was doing pretty well there. It's been very, very stressful here for 2 years, and there was a lot of confusion about Candy not being around. So I really don't think he did it intentionally. No, I think everybody maybe needed a break, and um, yeah, I don't think he did it in whatever. But I don't know. We never really conversated about Candy at all. I don't recall Tommy and I talking about that. As weird as it is, it was basically when I got here, don't bring up bad things. I think we were both like that, right? Just leave it alone. And it's just, in a way, it's the same fakery, but it was pretty much working. He probably viewed it as just giving a person another chance or something and just, yeah. I noticed because I wasn't really conversating with him. the rides to the food pantry, I noticed how mentally ill he was. So that's been since what? Um, August. I think we went a couple of times. I noticed. I told you when he picked me up after the '80s thing, he got mad because he gets envious of everything, like Barbara. So it's probably part of an underlying and some kind of dementia. I definitely think he had like serious brain issues. So that can be a pretty tortured life for a person. So, um, God, it's cold, huh? This is probably me. I've been drinking more water. I'm probably going to get more and more cold. And so, yeah, I might feel better when I eat something. I can't imagine eating chicken, but it's probably because it's been a couple of days of not eating as much as I usually do and drinking way too much coffee. I didn't do it today. I just had my morning coffee, but yeah, I never drink coffee all day and night like that. You don't know what to do. It's almost like you're looking for the stimulant or something, I guess. So, I was explaining to Candy that all the stuff here. So most of it is probably just for people's sentimental value at this point, but that's all part of probate. So I just explained that there's not really anything that I would express to have, especially not knowing my housing and stuff. Why would I care about that? But no, as bad as it sounds, like in terms of being lonely, um, I don't know. It's pretty. I spent my entire time in a room, like pretty much the whole 13 years. It's sad for him because he probably had so many regrets, like screaming at me in the kitchen because clearly after that I wasn't present in the house anymore. So he never said anything about it, though. He never apologized for it, and then said, I don't care if you're about the house. I was having a bad day. I'm having issues with my mind. Nothing. He never even apologized for it. So, um, who knows? He maybe thought he was right, and I'm supposed to stay in a room like that. He stayed in a room too, like it was surreal. Yeah. So I took a 2 hour walk every 2 day, 2.5 hour walk. He wasn't doing that. He was in a room more than me. I just look at that room going, but I guess people probably say that about me too. Yeah. So in terms of pitying people, I'm still alive, so I can explain it. You don't really have to, it's not like that. For me, it might have been like that for him, but maybe it wasn't. I mean, yeah, at first glance, you go, this guy is like so depressed. Maybe he just didn't like people. Maybe he was just like, fuck everybody. Uh, he used to be all about, but this is the thing about Tommy. He would be all about whatever he thinks you're all about. Yeah, just Yeah, I mean, to me, I'm not a doctor, but he really seemed like he was like mentally retarded and just probably was abused. He did drugs. He might have had, whatever. And it was just, that's a lot of rage and anger. And he never got separated from it. Never, like, I don't think so. He had a therapist, but she would know. I shouldn't speak for her. She would know a lot more about him than I do. But if he knew that he had blood pressure problems and stuff, if he didn't, if you can really not feel well, yeah, like shortness of breath, all of that, he may have wanted to just lay down. He may have been having like panic every time he tried to do something. Yeah. Remember how he used to be like that? He couldn't even stand up. Remember when he had to call the cable company? And I was noting about how he couldn't even stand for amount of time. He was better here. Yep, he was definitely better here. So he had to go up and down stairs because he had to care for his mother. He wasn't really doing that much laundry. He gave himself 3 sets of stairs. He never went to the third floor and very rarely went to the basement. Right. So, but he made himself go up and down a set of stairs. So that maybe that extended his life another 2 years. Yeah, just it's scary a person that just lays down like that. Like, what is that? What is that a person just lays down like that? Like sleeping. Yeah, like that is. I was wondering because if it had something to do with like constant voices in his head. Yeah, just terrible. But um no, I don't have that, thank God. But because of what I've been through, I've had like a night like that, and it's given me insight into other people's reality. And I'm just like, oh my God, these poor people. Like, your thoughts are so bad and your negative thoughts and stuff. All you can do is sleep because you can't stop thinking. Yeah, just sometimes God puts me through. This was like years ago. Sometimes God puts me through a thing, and I go, oh my God, these poor people. Um, so yeah, someone needs to find out. Well, she has children. Someone needs to find out if Cindy has been sleeping at all since Monday. Okay. Last night was better. Um, and then my thing is, I still wake up pretty much at the same time. So when I stay up too late, it's all over. But I definitely slept better last night than the night before. The night before, I think I got like 3 hours of sleep. I really, yeah, I guess I'm almost kind of surprised it's affecting me this much, but I think it's a whole bunch of probably things like, yeah, like, I guess probably maybe it's somewhat normal, especially in a dysfunctional family, just constantly think that you hate each other, right? And then you're just like, whoa. Probably, I think what's good about it too. Um, I don't believe they can hear us from beyond, but you'd be surprised the things that God can tell a person while they're living, and they just don't discuss it with other people because they're not me, or maybe even at the moment of death. Um, about being able to at least manage to get people to talk to Barbara again. So I think that's good. Um, right, like in death. When someone is like antisocial and mentally ill and they don't have any friends, um, yeah, it's very, very sad for a person like that, that the family doesn't want anything really to do with them. I think that that's sad. Yeah, it's sad for him, but I understand it because even though I was living here, like I said, it was difficult to have conversations with him because You basically, this is what you had to do. You had to just not correct him when he said something, and you have to not care that he's going to tell you you're wrong about everything. And you just sit there and you take a ride to the food pantry, and everything he says that's like obnoxious, you have to just do this and say nothing. Yeah, and then he's fine. Um, it was getting really sad for him at the end, so I guess now I'm happy I took the rides with them to the food pantry, because you could tell that Barbara did not want anything to do with him. It's just the last 4 years have really taken a toll on her when it came to Tommy. And I think some people are a little bit shocked, but you're not really understanding Barbara, but I kind of do. I don't believe she has the capacity to care about people to that extent, but not like you probably care about people. So, like when you're using your son as a weapon against your daughter and stuff, yeah, and it seems a thing to do to be like my son and stuff. Yeah, and you're manipulating him all the time to take care of you, and he's the one that puts up with your nonsense. But when it comes down to it, it was like she didn't even want him down here watching TV with her anymore. He would have to leave. Yep. Even when he wasn't saying anything, she was like, "Shut the fuck up" and stuff, like, because he was a talker. He'd sit there watching stuff, and he like that's Tommy. He's like this, but not on a live stream. So it was like a constant flow of talking at her. So, and it was just she wasn't interested in it anymore. Once she stopped walking around, it got worse. But as soon as Candy left, and then we came here, I think her entire demeanor was different. It did something to her mentally. So, traumatic things, maybe when you're older, just she thought she was going to be surrounded by all of these people and stuff when she was older. She didn't know her whole family was going to fall apart because she's not an adult. That's what happens. You reap what you sow. So, this is what I was wondering if they got those Kango things from. What do they call those things when I was looking up the videos? Those jumpy things from these people that lost their limbs. Oh, God. I did my back in when I um, put that backpack on from the food pantry, but yeah, I'm gonna be with the nuclear. It's not even real bad, honestly. It's real not even real bad. It's just yeah, a lot of standing and sitting, stress. I apparently I take a lot of stress in my back. It's not exactly my traps, no. Remember that? He said so. He was like, after we worked on the truck, he had his shirt off, and he's like, "Do I have two bruises right here?" I don't know if he was trying. Was it possible he thought he had traps? Was he working on his arms or something? I go, "Yeah, it's red right here." So I don't know what he was that from working on the truck. He thought he hurt himself. Yeah, it was red right here, like a skin irritation red. Weird, man. Alan Thick, is that who it was that died from one of those aortic dissections? There's another thing called the aortic rupture, which is different than a dissection, by the way, I guess. Yeah, you're not coming back from a rupture. That's 90% fatal. Yeah. They don't make it to the hospital. Even if you knew the second it happened and called 911, they have to get here. They got here pretty fast. They have to get here and then get to a hospital. So it's just that's an overwhelming blood loss. It's just not possible for people to save you. So I don't know. If he was going to die anyway, it's probably better that. But some sort of an autopsy that says what he died from would help. But um, yeah, if he's going to die anyway, it's probably better that. It depends on your point of view. I think it's pretty traumatic to have people coming and resuscitating someone upstairs because you have a hope that he's not dead. I don't know how to explain it. And then having to figure out how to carry him out of that and carry him down here. It would be just as difficult as carrying his corpse out and then being in a hospital and then you've got to go to a hospital. That seems like a lot of stress for the same result. I'm sure it's no easier to take when they come out of that thing and go, "We're sorry." Yeah. I don't know if they could tell from the look of my face that I could hear them say rigor up there, so I already knew. And when I opened the door and I figured what I saw because yeah, just um, like I said on the phone, yeah. When she asked about if he was breathing, I'm like, I don't know, man. Like I just saw him and I ran down the stairs to use this phone. I'm afraid my cell phone is going to act up, so I'm using a house phone. I wouldn't want to say it in front of her, but and I'm like in the old pulling thing in the corner whispering. I go, "You're not really getting it, that." And she's like, "Oh, I really don't think he's alive up there." So I don't know, man, because I'm not I never had that happen. I don't think I've ever seen someone dead that wasn't in a casket before, but I didn't see his face or anything, so I'm grateful for that. Thank you for the being in front of the bathroom door, Tommy, because the door can only open so far with you there. Really, like I don't want to keep going over it, but my recall, I see toilet shit, him on the floor, and then I can see somehow where however the blood had flown, I could see there was something there, and, and I just went right to the thing. So when you see that for me, I just went, this isn't good, man. It's not like you're finding someone unconscious, or I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. Maybe you always think they're dead, or you're worried. It's you don't see someone have a heart attack in front of you and then call an ambulance. You just go, what the? So I was going to say this, like people, I know everything has to be CSI, doesn't forensic files. People that do away with people, like they probably never know like how to act like you're innocent. I used to say it when I was watching those shows because you're probably in shock. Like you ever see that hear the things with the 911 and they're like screaming. You're probably not even like that. You're probably just stone cold. I don't know what I sounded like because I don't remember when I called them. I remember some of the stuff I said, but I don't know what my voice tone sounded like. Um, yeah, you're probably just in shock. Just that's a complete sudden thing because he didn't tell us he had a medical problem. Although he did tell me long time ago that he had wicked high blood pressure and they wouldn't do anything about it. That was a long time ago. So that's a long time to have blood pressure that high, and it probably got even higher. I don't know what it was when the person that wrote his prescriptions was that just a therapist? Okay, so she probably wasn't taking his blood pressure, right? And then he wasn't even taking his medication. Did she know he wasn't taking it? She probably didn't report him because someone was just telling me that I guess they'll shut your social security off. But if it was relaxing him, he can't be doing that all the time because he had to care for his mother. But yeah, but yeah, I mean, is that why he was on the couch like that and like none of us knew it? I don't know. Is it possible that yeah, like he was so ill and the only thing that kept him alive was that he was on a couch like that? Is that possible? I know it's like Henry the Eighth, isn't it? And you just go, I can imagine some of these people that came here, they're probably like, I don't want to laugh, but kudos to this is like a scene out of Saw. And he said that he didn't like those films. Oh, that's too much gore for me. Remember that? It looked like a scene out of Saw. And uh, yeah, I mean, I guess if you have a really strong faith in God, I guess maybe it's okay when you don't know the person. You just go, oh my God, it's like Saw right here. Another Saw. You know how many Saws they probably find in a given week? Unfortunately, people are very unhealthy. 57 is extremely young to die. Karen Corbett is like 58 or 59 years old. Yeah, that's very young to die, 57. I guess I expect it from me because, but if someone doesn't know you have a medical condition, then some of this stuff is probably normal where people go, I've got to be signed in this too, and I've got to do that because, yeah, you just, yeah, I'm sure that's probably normal. For a family so dysfunctional, they're probably worried everything they do is fucked up, right? It's just, I would say that stuff is normal. Yeah. It's a mix. It's a mix of things. Um, in some ways, it's probably a way to process your grief, as long as people don't, physically hurt each other. I'm sure that, right, that it's a process of grief. So um, I don't know if, I'm sure all that's normal too. I guess Michael's really Tom Kent's mother died, and I was like little, and I had to go to a wake, and I was terrified. So that I don't like wakes. The Michael thing was horrifying. I was like 13 or 14 years old. Just, yeah, that was like a major traumatic moment in my life. Of all the things that have happened to me, that was like a major traumatic moment in my life. All of it, because that was a wicked sudden death too. It was a motorcycle accident. So it was like wicked sudden. He was like 22 years old, and he was like the brother I would have wanted to have because he was very funny. He was like the comedy of the family. So he was pretty close to Tommy too. Yeah, I'm sure it was wicked difficult for Tommy when that happened too. So I think that's it. I had a friend in high school that committed suicide. That was another traumatic moment in my life. So, well, I don't know. I would say I handled death pretty well, but yeah, I've been spared a lot of it. So I would say I definitely handled death pretty well. You don't know that until something whacked out like that happens to you. Um, Sometimes I wouldn't know that because I feel like I'm a jerk sometimes, but sometimes maybe people appreciate that about a person if they feel, that, especially when they feel that some things are emotionally overwhelming for them. I think they appreciate a person who can maintain their composure. It makes it worse. That's why I almost wanted to say that to Barbara on Tuesday. If she could stop doing that to every person that comes here, that would be fantastic. But I didn't do it. The words did not leave my mouth, but I had the thought in my head. Do you realize how upsetting this is to the other people in the room? Or okay, this is not a time for Barbara Kent's dramatics. Not my Tomer, not my Tomer. I mean, maybe do it at the wake, not today, because I just felt like it seemed orchestrated. That's all. Unless she was being triggered because she's mixed emotions. She hasn't seen some of these people in 4 or 5 years. So maybe it triggers emotions because she's like, oh my God, my son died. And they weren't here that day. Yeah. I'm really not incompetent. Yeah. I know it gets confusing because I don't work and I don't have an income. I don't work. I don't have an income. I don't stick my nose in other people's business. I don't like to sort of delegate tasks, I guess. So, really not. I had a whole house with 6 minors and a dude out of it 80 hours a week. So, again, he just provided money. So, I'm sure. Come on. Where's my friend Diane from the shelter? What is this? It's not him. It's your brother that died in just a quick fashion like that. The guy that was putting you in a house for 2 years. Whoa. What is? Yeah. Talk about weirdness. I know. That's why I'm honest with people. I go, it's a mixed thing because obviously I wouldn't want the guy to die. I was hoping to get my own housing, but you go, he literally would not let me have a person here because of his social anxiety and stuff. He has like a fear of other people. And yeah, like I don't know if Cynthia's having that problem. It's weird because she's worked all this time, but you can't be that isolating. Yeah, one of the bad signs is calling all your children, calling Scott when this, unless it's about money. I will give her that because everybody's got to get paid, but I don't know if you have to pay for a medical transport for an 89-year-old whose caretaker died and she's in a house without her caretaker. So I'm not sure, and you have to mediate at the VA. I'm not sure there's a money charge. Well, I didn't make any phone calls, so what do I have to say about anything? But when you make 35 phone calls, did you make a phone call of that? And then they go, oh no, we don't do it like that anymore. So what is this? And you're going to take her care? Okay, so just take her to your house. I'm kind of surprised they gave her an appointment at her house on the 17th without asking those questions. If they were told this situation and they said that that was okay, it's not okay. It's not okay. Nope. It's most definitely not okay. Always keep your hands clean, right? You just go, all right, well, I'm going to let you do that. And then it's what? Okay, you need to take her. First, it was going to be this week. Get it? She wouldn't leave here. She did this before. And the other thing, too, that people should know in terms of fairness, but Barbara hasn't had a chance to talk. When's the last time she talked to her son, James? She hasn't talked to Candy. She hasn't talked to James. She just saw Michelle the other day. She hasn't talked to Barbara. I don't think she's talked to Kathy in 2 years. So she did say, I guess we're going to sell Cindy's house. Huh? Remember that? And I was like, I don't know anything about that. And she goes, oh, did she say at that time? Oh yeah, that's right. You don't know anything. No one knows anything. She always get mad at me. Mary doesn't know anything about anything. That's right, Barbara. That's right. She doesn't. I am not getting rooked into that one. Excuse me. It's like a psychiatrist, yeah. If only, if only I could get a Rhodes Scholar degree. Yeah, it's like a psychiatrist. They don't do all that stuff. No, they do psychiatry. I'm sure a lot of them do crisis intervention. Crisis. I don't know if it's crisis management, crisis intervention. That's why I was joking. Yeah, now I'm in crisis management. You have to really, have someone willing to. I don't know about paying you, but you have to have someone really willing to give you some sort of a certification before you. I do it in just. I guess it's already almost 6. Should go through the motions already. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's something about the kitchen and stuff. Yeah, just I don't know if it's the kitchen. It's not about Barbara not being here. No, I don't know. He isn't even usually in the kitchen, but you just go. I have no one to complain about. Yeah, I have no one to complain about. Um, like a child, I guess. Yeah, I have no one to complain about, but yet not have to worry about any of the bills or anything. Yeah. So um, I have no one to be pissed off about eating food. So I think it's harder for him in the wintertime. Yeah. By the time I got here, it was March, so I don't know what happened the first winter, but it was the same thing the winter before this one because of having to pay for oil. So I don't know what he was doing with his check. And like I said, I don't. He could have been donating to the food pantry every week. I do. I think he could have been doing stuff like that. I really do, but I don't know. I don't know what he was doing with this money. I think the other tragic thing is, it, from my view, unless he was smoking somewhere else, I don't know how he was smoking somewhere else because he never went anywhere, but he definitely was not smoking drugs. Just this past, like, what, month or two? Did he stop smoking on October 1st? I know. Well, I did smell marijuana a couple of times, but he used to have mad smells coming from that room. So you don't know how much of his mental health issues were caused by drug abuse too, because he used mad drugs when he was young, when he was a kid. Just everything that went on in the 1980s in that house. Him and Michael used to party together. Yeah, so he was doing that at least since he was a teenager. I never got into the drugs. I think it's a different generation, or it has something to do with whoever they were being abused by or something. Yeah, I never got into that. Thank God. Let's see. I should make up an excuse to use the oven because it's freezing. I don't have to worry about blowing a fuse for that. I'm gonna do a Barbara and open this. That's one of her procedures. I didn't cook beans. I guess I could start cooking beans. Uh, because they've got to be cooked. Oh God. I want to walk. Oh, that's right. Saturday, I wanted to go to the food pantry, and I have to go to the funeral home, so I'm not going to be able to do it. I already told Candy I'd be there. I'm not going to do that to a person with everything that's going on. I'm not going to not show up to the thing. So, I've had a couple of people ask me to please not leave here. I don't know if they're worried about me or just they want to find out, everything that's going on. They don't want me to go to the shelter. So. Well, I'm sure it's scary. There's not really anything medically with me going on. I just finished 2 months of a regime. I don't know, maybe they don't know that because people don't talk to me about what I'm doing. Tommy definitely was not doing walking. So they took my blood pressure a year ago at the shelter. It was 140/80. That's really awesome blood pressure. And I'm not on any medication. So it has to do with being able to rest. They actually, even the shelter itself has records of my blood pressure in 2016, how high it was. Because it has to do with stress. No offense to Jen. It was pretty high then. But it wasn't as high as Tommy said his was. This can go here. Barbara used to open the oven and warm up the kitchen. Now it's weird she opens the oven. She doesn't have anything else to do. And it's an excuse to be in the kitchen when someone else is in the kitchen. She just likes to do it. Because I think it's actually not that weird of a thing. It's just that there's so much has happened within this family that, and it's difficult to have a mother that's incompetent. I mean, come on. You're allowed to say when she's not around that she's incompetent. She can't hear me. She doesn't use the internet. You're allowed. It's a disgrace that she had all those children, but she wants something to do. That's all she does. Right? That's all she does. She's terrible at it. It's as tragic as Tommy, except it is she. I don't think Tommy really did that to people, manipulated them and this and that. Yeah, he had other issues, but I don't think he manipulated them and the stuff that Barbara does. So, she shouldn't have had all those children. But she's not like, I don't think she's full capacity, I gotta say. So. The snow is still over there, which makes it seem even more suspicious. Why do I hear people talking? Is that the TV? I'm going to start hearing voices now. That's not good. No, she didn't come. I got weirded out a little bit ago because I actually thought I heard someone at the door with the keys. I thought she was. I think it's windy and the stuff blowing around. No, I don't hear voices. But the TV's on in the other room. I know. I think I'm actually afraid of her. No, like she wasn't threatening me or anything. I have PTSD. I think I'm actually afraid of her. Yeah, like I'm a little bit traumatized. So I found the remote. I mentioned that earlier. Well, sometimes too. I hope it's not going to be viewed as that, but no. Sometimes people can change their minds about things when they have a chance to do something, which is another good reason to force someone to take her to her house since she doesn't live with her. That'd be seen as doing her a favor because she's either going to go, I am not doing this, or she's going to go, yeah, I can do this because the kids aren't going to be here and this isn't as scary. And she's actually doing much better than Tommy said she was. So I think it's good to do a test run, and then I'm sure that there's gonna be people that are gonna need to talk to her about her plans. Yeah, so when you have issues that you don't like strangers and you don't like mental health people, that's gonna be, you got to get over that. Tommy had to deal with a whole bunch of big boy stuff that he clearly wasn't doing when he was living at Mother's house, and Candy was doing everything. So I doubt it works as well as that thing that I actually plugged in upstairs, because I know Tommy used that particular heater in that plug. Right, and the heat isn't even kicking on or anything, so I think it should be okay without blowing fuses. Obviously, I had circuit breakers in my house. I'm assuming the circuit breakers in this house. Yeah, it's not really that big of a deal, especially, I don't know where it's located, but yeah, like when you haven't done something in a wicked long time, you go, oh God, right? Because obviously everything is overwhelming. Everything is overwhelming, and you just go, oh God. I mean, this is, if you've never been homeless before, if the shelter is open, you go, yeah, I'm all set. Yeah, okay, so you're good. Okay, bye. When you've never been homeless before, you go, you put up with anything, I'm sure. Yeah, that's the key. Don't let them ever be homeless, because contrary to what some people think, they get less and less likely to give in to your demands, not more and more likely. Well, I'm not even saying that I would be willing to do that. I'm not even saying that. But I would not be willing to do that if there's going to be some sort of an issue with me having people there. So that's an understandable concern, given the number of drug addicts that I interact with. That is a concern. There's not any way for drug addicts to access that woman's money, by the way. Not even Tommy. I'm not convinced that he could fashion a way to get her money based on this paperwork. Like, I don't know. I'm not saying Cindy's a drug addict. No. What was it? The thing where he has to account for everything to the VA, and it's once a year. So I'm not sure what type of evidence he has to provide to them. Okay, but there is an oversight of some kind. And then she clearly would qualify for Social Security because she worked. That's a lot of money. Yeah, I can't get into this thing about I got to get money, but that was my thought. Just seriously? Whoa. I would think the woman qualifies for housing. I don't know why she wasn't getting a Section 8. Yeah, I mean, that would have been one of the first things I would ask. I don't know if they kind of railroaded Tommy, or if he was under duress and he was like afraid to ask about things because he thought that would mean that he couldn't do it. I don't know. It's possible that he just said yes to everything they told him. Yeah, again, to me, that's tragic, because you go, in a sense, who cares what he would have done with the money? Because the money isn't to anybody anyway. I know you go, it went to the landlord would still get paid. So where did the money go exactly? But not into Tommy's hands. Yeah, you go. If anything, he would have banked it, and then he'd have even more in probate. I know, you just go, does that really matter? I'm just kind of, to me, I'm baffled. Like, I feel like he got screwed. And because, in a sense, he was dumb enough to let me leave the house and go to Quincy, but maybe he just thought not to make me bothered with it. I don't know if other people were confused about that. I'm not saying he lied and said I just took off, but I didn't want to be in their here. I didn't want to be their problem. Okay, not I was abandoning them, but none of that was ever said to me by him or her. I just went, I'm getting out of these people's problem so that they can do what they're going to do. They both have an income. He got a U-Haul, but clearly the situation changed. And I don't know, he might have felt like he wanted to leave. He might have been planning on just leaving in a U-Haul with his own stuff until he saw I was gone. He should have said that, because I would have taken care of that for him. He knew the year before that I tried to take care of it for him. Right. So it is sad that that's the last 2 years of his life. It really is sad. And it's sad for him because when he picked me up in the shelter in May, so again, it's almost another year, I said something about introducing him to homeless people. Like, the dude never even got to have like a real front. I think Cindy said he had like one contact on his phone. I know, you just go, that sounds like me. But I don't even have one contact. I'm looking at the thing going, I would have tried to call Jen, but she apparently changes her phone number. Do you need to come down here now? Are you willing to come down now? I can hear you peeking around. Are you going to come down and eat? Peanuts. Are you going to come downstairs and eat? Come on. You going to come downstairs? Come on. So, you're going to need some food and water today. There you go. Come on. You can do it. We're all getting over this. Come on. Come on. Come on downtown. Can't. Want a candy or anything? You want a candy or anything? Is it water? Come on. Come on now. Have a candy in. Come on. I'm downstairs. I'm kind of surprised you're still up here. But I don't want you to fall. Come on. Come on, Peanuts. Candy in. He fell down the stairs like a week ago. Yeah. Cindy happened to be here. But Tommy was here, but I guess he was outside. Was that the day he was fixing his truck? Yeah, I think it was. It wasn't even a week ago. It was like Sunday. Sunday's the day he fixed his truck, and that's when his dog fell down the stairs. That's why I'm trying to make sure the dog doesn't fall down the stairs. But the dog just keeps looking at me, and you go, whoa, you are not going to make it. I turned the heater on upstairs for the friggin' dog. I'm not bringing dog's dishes upstairs. It's got to come downstairs. Oh, Candy said she was looking into something to adopt the dog, yeah. Because the dog, yeah, he has to adjust. It's like he's not an aggressive dog in any way. I did manage to bring him downstairs, was it yesterday? But he's just being a little bit more weird today. I don't know if he would bite me. I'm not risking being bitten by a dog. Yeah, because I go for the harness and he knows what I'm doing. And then today he like did his teeth a little bit. So I'm trying to coax him to at least attempt to try to come down. You go, you're not going to come down even when you're upstairs alone. Because he climbed up the stairs last night because I was upstairs and there was no one down here. Even with the TV on. Yeah, maybe it was a last-ditch effort to see if Tommy was up there. I don't know how dogs' brains function. Right, like the dog may have still just gone up there and expected him to be up there and went. Yeah. It's been, what, how many, I keep doing it. 3 days. I don't know how long it takes a dog to realize. Yeah, like I said, the dog's been traumatized before too, so I do feel bad for it. I wouldn't do anything to abuse the dog. No, that's why I'm like, I am not going to keep picking up poop and pee. Barbara Kent would rather have a puppy, anyways. I don't think she. I know. You got to understand Barbara. Like, um, she started. She had to be histrionic about the dog. Like, someone is always doing something to another person. She still does it. And she was like, every person that comes over, she's got to, before he died, she's got to act like he's now doing something suspicious to the dog. I'm not kidding you. He's never done anything bad to that dog. No. So I think he may have actually been more attached to that dog than any dog he ever had. Right? You go, oh my God. Like I thought that I go, he didn't even have to bury his dog. Because we've had that dog for, and it wasn't a puppy when we got it. And you go, we've had that dog for a long time. I used to hate that dog, man, because of what happened in Ohio. It never barks at all now. Ever since we went camping in 2019, it stopped doing that. And then it used to scare Jared, and Jared was be afraid to come downstairs and eat. And it was because they had other dogs. They were using gates. Remember those days? Yeah, I'm an asshole, but things did change. It sucks too because I'm sure people were happier to an extent, and then I have to feel guilty about. Yeah, I have to feel it's better when you have people on shows talking about stuff in a humorous manner, and you go, "Oh my God, that sounds like me," and then you go, "Yeah, I'm going to stop doing that." Than to have someone that's living with you or a family member, and they're like constantly bitching and complaining and saying bad things about you. I'm sure that's not good. I'm afraid to. He's got two heaters down here, and I'm afraid to plug them in. I'm pretty. He had to have had that plugged into this plug. Oh, there you go. Maybe it'll work now. I think Cindy turned one on yesterday for Barbara. What am I doing wrong here? It's not even on. Is it possible she switched them out and this one doesn't work? Because I think there's another one in the other room. I know, you just go, oh my God, I didn't even know they had a second one down here. I know, you just go, Jesus Christ, dude. Why not throw it away if it's broken? Why not ever throw anything away? Okay, it's not that. It's something else because this one's not turning on either. Maybe there's something wrong with this plug. Is that not an on-off? Oh, my eyes are so bad. Is that not an on-off switch? That's got to be how you turn it on. Alright, maybe they do both work, but something's up with the plug. Alright. I don't know, because I know he had one plugged in there. There's only one outlet in a bathroom, right? Ay. Meanwhile, the oven's still on. Oh, there we go. All right, I can shut the oven off then. All right. 6:05. Shut those beans. 10, 15 minutes. Drinking some more water. I've only got one more roll of toilet paper, but it's just me here by myself, and I think there's some of those poopy wipes still in the other bathroom that he would not flush down the toilet, but I guess he was afraid to clog up the toilet. It does say they're non-flushable, but things, I guess that thing that I thought was gross, I didn't know what the hell he was doing. It could just be part of his mental incompetence. Yeah, like he would not just do something at the time. That's a big problem. Yeah, like you need to do something and then complete that task. And then all of a sudden he would do something and leave it there. You just go, because he was saying something about his comforter. He goes, yeah, I got to do that. Still sitting there. And I was kind of like in a nice way laughing, going, yeah, that's why I go like this. That is why I just do things right at the time when I'm thinking about it. Yeah, like that's part of behavioral therapy. Remember Barbara canceled that at her house when he was living there? How long has this been there? I didn't notice this morning. Oh my God. Definitely out of it. More dirty dishes, Cynthia. Jesus God. Oh yeah, that's why you go. I get it. You're cooking for your mother. Can you wash the dishes after you cook for your mother? I spent a lot of time doing dishes while she was here. Yeah, I mean, she might have a completely different point of view, and that's fine. That's why people don't. That's why people decide not to have relationships, because it's just not. I'm not really interested in that in my life. I make friends with people, right? I make friends with people. I had 6 children. I don't know what the hell happened to them. Okay. But I make friends because I don't want to be abusive. Like, I want to talk like my regular self and not sound like I'm just a psychiatrist all the time. That's not really my personal life. That's probably why Barbara was talking to her like that, because, yeah, I get it now, because I think she told me the wrong thing, and she probably didn't understand what Barbara was saying. Okay, so if that's what happened, then that was my concern. And I expressed it to the police. I go, I don't know if she's having trouble understanding what I'm saying. Okay, so that's all. I'm not going to start making up things or go on the attack. It's a person that I don't have conversations with. But the few times she's come over here, especially this business about the COVID shots. Okay, so I know, don't even bother getting into it with people. Right, I don't think I don't think that vaccine is causing those illnesses. I think it's from being exposed to radioactive material and cancer. Some people, when they're dealing with children, don't want to keep saying those words over and over again. Children have televisions in their homes. They really shouldn't be using the internet, but some of them do. That's scary to people. Yeah. Okay, then we have the root beers. Yep, root beers left on the table because she likes soda. I don't know if that was something that Cindy's kids were drinking. That's fine. I don't drink regular soda. Those are Tommy's. He liked root beer. He wasn't affording his box root beer anymore because 12 packs is so expensive. Oh yeah, wasn't she supposed to give me the money from those cans? Okay, that's why they're not the thing. That's why they're not in the bag, because she took the bag. and she's supposed to give me the money from them. Just, whoa. That is called overextending yourself. Huge. I don't even want to put these in a plastic bag, but I just don't want shit hanging around. They've got to go up in my bag, only because there isn't a bag anymore. Not I need to steal 10 cents. I just don't want them sitting on a table. Oh, now it's a doggy. You want to go downstairs now? Come on. Now it's a doggy. Come on. Come on. You're going to get hungry eventually. I can shut this off. Coming downstairs. Come on now. You bad dog. Come on. Come on. I know you're afraid because you fall down. That's why I'm trying to carry you like Tara does. But you can't be showing me those teeth. Come on. Hunger will prevail, Ral, even though poops and peas did not. You gotta talk like him. You bad dog. You have to have a can. Even that's left out. We got this butter stuff. Like I'm never gonna use that butter when it looks like that. You gotta put a can man, maybe he'll come down. I don't know. If she's not coming back, that butter's going in the trash, I gotta say. Because that is a lot of cut marks. Yeah, butter is expensive, but that's a lot of cut marks right there. Yeah, what if it's the curse of the can man? Peanuts, I gotta get you to a new home. I'm not suffering the curse of the can man. Nope. Suffering the curse of the can man. Alright. There's probably another glass that Tommy was drinking out of. Where's he storing these things? Well, he basically did like I did at the house. He adopted a glass and he just kept using the same glass over and over again. Alright. I think I got this root beer mug at the donation bins over by the mall. That was right after I came here in 2022. I was like, oh my God, after spending 8 weeks on the ground. It was terrible. Those 2 brown dishes have got to be Cindy's. Like she started bringing food over here. That was one of the things that I kind of suspected that, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's got to go in the trash barrel. And the trash is already full because it didn't go out on Tuesday. It didn't go out Monday night because Tommy was already passed away in the bathroom, from what I can tell. Yeah, so I don't know what time he typically puts the trash out. Sometimes he forgets stuff. That is true. Maybe he does it later or sometimes quickly on Tuesday morning. I don't know. Yeah, he does the trash, but I got to remember to do it Monday night because it's got stuff in it from cleaning up his blood too. What am I looking for over here? Oh, just random. Where am I going to put this glass? That's right. Thank you. Let's see. He put stuff up here, so I can put stuff up here, right? He's not here anymore. Oh, this is kind of actually deep. He's lined all this stuff up. Like, that's what's good about forcing people to move, but not letting them bring all this shit with them. Yeah, because this is an example of it right here. As opposed to this, because it becomes, why would two people need this many dishes? Yeah, I mean, that's why traumatic moments are not good. And that's why people have crisis intervention. Because moving all that stuff into this house has just now created a huge problem that he would have had to have faced when his mother died. Right? So if he was going to become so sick that he couldn't drive his truck around and pay bills and stuff, then what? He would have to face all this stuff about how's he going to pay his truck payment, what's going to happen with the trailer that's not paid off. Yeah, so I don't know if he was already having those thoughts, but it seems like he probably wasn't. Yeah, so that's good for him. But he probably had a lot of worries he never had to have because he wasn't going to live to see it. So I'd say that's a tragedy right there, in my opinion. But God does what God does. These are her waters. They're going over here. Did she take those waters back? Well, I guess she would. That's right. Sorry, because Barbara's not here, so why would she leave the waters? I don't drink that stuff anyway. I told her that stuff was for Barbara. I don't know at what point in time I can. I know you just go, what in the hell, God? Oh boy. There's still one piece of that thing that's probably, I can probably throw that away. I guess I'm gonna eventually have to do laundry. I mentioned that. Yeah. I figured on Monday I would start cleaning out the refrigerator because I can't put the trash out until Monday night anyways, or Monday afternoon. So what's today? Thursday? I have to remember Monday. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's going in a trash barrel that's in the refrigerator. Anything that's perishable that I know has been in there forever, he probably would have let me do it. Right, but it's just I never like breached that topic with him, but he probably would have let me do it. Especially after she went into a wheelchair. Oh, that can't be like that. You gotta let the air in. Oh my God, I probably killed those strawberries. Crap. I got the sugar cookie stuff. I got pasta that's cooked. I got turkey burgers I cooked for her. Maybe I'll do pasta and turkey burgers. I gotta cook these beans though. And then we'll see about the strawberries. I probably should have said, I mean, if things had ended differently, I'd be like, here, take this. I'm never gonna eat this. It's now Thursday. I'm gonna take it out of the plastic bag. I just had sort of like my first flash where I went, oh my God, Mary, he is dead. Yeah, I almost did it. That's going to go on for a while. I would say that's going to go on at least, a good month. And they're already bad. Yep. So that adds to the garbage load. Well, I can't beat myself up about it. I know, like, why did I even put them in the cooler? Maybe they would have ate strawberries. But I know it's hard. I hate getting selfish about food. You feel like you're effing insane. No, I have put strawberries in the fridge and they eat them. Yep. That was a big package of them too. But anyways, it's because of the whole entire thing. It's just not good. Stuff that makes you worried about food that you shouldn't even be worried about. Like you start to get, I don't know how to explain it. Like it's probably got something to do with the fact of his mental illness. I think it's probably that. Yeah, like sometimes your emotions get all messed up and it's like, it's not really like you're making yourself feel guilty about something that you really shouldn't feel guilty about. Okay. Like, it could have something to do with growing up with Barbara, where boys will be boys and you're supposed to allow people to do everything. And it's just, probably other parents, when their children are growing up, they have those discussions with them when things come up in a family. And Barbara Kent is not that person, even though she tried to get a degree in psychology. Okay. Because clearly, when you're not well in your own mind, you can't even begin to ponder those things. Okay. Maybe when you're a mother or father and you see the stuff play out with your children and you're sober and you're healthy of mind, you see it. So you can explain it to them when they're children as it's happening. Yeah, I think I said it to Candy once about Cindy because she was using then. I think it's really about your concern that she's using. Yeah. So it's difficult to have a lot of people in your family that are mentally ill. So just know this, there's a lot of people that have people in their family that are mentally ill. There's a lot of people that have drug addicts in their family that are ill. You're really not, when people that are isolated in a family like this, it's not good. It's really not. Because Barbara Kent has severe paranoia, and she doesn't like outside sources, just like Tom Kent. I am not like that. When I had my children, I felt pretty fully confident about raising them. And there's always sort of like a little bit of concern about weirdos being around your kid. And when they're minors, So, but just having just a complete paranoia about the mental health field and other people and stuff, it probably made it worse what was happening to me. I think that probably affected Tommy more. Like, why would he take his medication? You get what I'm saying? Why not take your medication when you, like, he still probably didn't believe he was mentally ill, even though he was saying that stuff to Scott. Yeah, it's almost like God talking to him. Yeah, just clearly he forgot what he said to Scott, because that's a whole bunch of bottles of pills up there. Remember the gabapentins that disappeared? Okay, because I noticed that, not to be mean. I don't know who was the culprit of that. 360 gabapentins. Barbara Kent took those. Brian Buchanan. What am I supposed to do with this butter? Now I have to save butter because we don't know what's going on with Bob. Or maybe can we get new butter if she comes back or something? I'm sure. Yeah, probably. I will say that. That's the other thing. If he had allowed Brian to move in here with me, we probably would be like, is there any way we can actually stay here? Or, I don't know, it depends. After a year here, things are different in the homeless world when you have a buddy, by the way. So we might have been like, okay, I guess, we rode this out as much as we were gonna. And just like, whoa, seriously, dude, you're dead? Okay. We thought she'd be dead, and then how the hell do we live here? Yeah, because people that set up things where, that's why it kind of didn't make sense to me. People that set up things where I'm still reliant on her income. You don't know how long she's going to live. We could have the same conversation in 6 months, but it's like completely different. Right, so unless she's got some sort of a nest egg, or it's like a Section 8, and I could bank I don't know if the VA even allows that. You get a Section 8 and then bank her income till she dies in a separate bank account, so you have something to live on when she dies. Well, yeah, because it depends on how you get in your Section 8. I don't know how they do it. Clearly, they gave a 19-year-old a Section 8, but I don't know if she has to work or what that is. Right, you just go. All I know is I don't know that Shelter probably has no way of knowing this. Roslyn Capital? That's going to be just a solicitor, right? It tells you who it is. They don't have anything through Roslyn Capital. It's got to be a robocall for credit. I don't think you can hear it when it comes on. Does he have the volume down? Yeah, okay, that's not the hall light. How do you turn the volume? I can't even figure out how to play the message on that thing. Every time I hit play, it doesn't play anything. Is it not recording the messages? No message. Okay, so that means they're hanging up on the machine. It said there's no messages because I know the phone has rung a couple times, so people gave up leaving messages on the phone. Well, it was definitely good to have that. You got to have a landline. Just when I was trying to call the SNAP office, the cell phones is something's going on with my keypad or someone else is doing that to my keypad. Yeah, just it worked today to call the shelter. But you know what I did? I looked it up online and hit the phone thing. That's what it is. That's why it's not happening. So if you don't usually have to press in numbers, that's how DTA does it. They don't even give you an option to speak it anymore. So that's a little bit suspect, I got to say. But yeah, that's a phone to have. Yeah, take that with you to the shelter in case you ever get a room because you need a phone like that. It's good to have a cell phone too, but I was not messing around with that when I called 911. So, all right. And then I had to use it again to call 911 yesterday. I'm a 911 fury now. Yeah, I think that basically people are probably worried because I've always had a place to go, I guess, when I'm not at the shelter and trying to get housing. So, yeah, it's just sort of like obvious because Barbara cannot run a household and she can't make decisions and stuff. She's in a wheelchair. Right. Tommy was her caretaker and he was taking care of stuff there. So clearly, I'm sure there's a concern with other people. You just go, it is what it is. So I would try to make your main concern about your mother and her care. Right. So yeah, just I think they should discuss it. I think they're talking to each other. Candy spoke with Jimmy or someone spoke with Jimmy. Okay. So I think they should discuss it with themselves. And then we have time on Saturday because of Tommy's thing we have to be at. I didn't realize he wasn't buying his Cumberland Farms coffee anymore. Things were definitely getting more tight for some reason. This is from the food pantry. And then I forgot on Saturday to look for coffee. He was probably like, this coffee sucks. These are coffee beans, and we don't have a coffee grinder. Both of them are. Yeah, like he used to go to Cumberland Farms and get his bold, like, he clearly was sort of in a rut. I don't know if he was just having money problems because it's winter time, but Yeah, I mean, when it happened kind of quickly, it was getting towards that around the time that the house got evicted and Candy left and stuff. It was heading towards that. But him and her used to go to Castle Island on Fish Fillet Friday. Remember that? Every Friday. And then he told me that it was getting too expensive. I don't think it was just that. It might have been it was getting too difficult for him to drive around. I noticed this could happen to anybody any day though. One of the times we went to the food pantry recently, he went the wrong way. But he handled it very well. He goes, "Wait a minute, where am I going?" Because he usually goes to that Stop and Shop. Yeah, anybody could do that. I wouldn't overthink that. But yeah, like obviously signs of depression and it's warranted. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely warranted. But I think probably your 50s or a certain time of life where it's probably no different for a man than it is for a woman. You just get to a point in your life where you just begin to go, all of these things you thought always you might have a chance to do, you're just facing that's probably never going to happen, and now you've saddled yourself to your mother, and it's not even like a regular thing. And then I'm sure it's why he brought me here. So I at least offered some kind of comfort to the man for the past year or two. So he really wanted Cindy to help him out with the care because he couldn't understand. He goes, "I don't understand what is wrong with people that they don't want to care for their mother." And she was telling me that she needed to get paid if she was going to keep coming here. Like she could get paid and come here a couple times a week and help care for her. And you're just kind of like, I don't understand why you've got to be paid to do that. Yeah, so I can see if she has to quit work that she would have, then yeah, you have a need to be paid if you quit work and you're a nurse to just solely nurse your mother. I could see that. But you're coming here on your off days or whatever because you're a nurse. And obviously that's going to be his way of indicating that I think she could have got her mother in the shower. Right. And it's been 2 years since the woman had a shower, 2 or 3 years since the woman's had a shower. So they might be thinking that's why they don't bring it to a hospital. You go, that's really not an excuse why you don't bring it to a hospital. But Cindy supplied the chair. And she said she showed it to Tommy and we were thinking about doing it. And I go, yeah, I bet you we can get her on that thing when she showed it to me. But this is the problem. It's not going to work out with her and me. Yeah, it's absolutely not going to work out. That's why I was being like, I felt like her biggest problem was she wouldn't bite the bullet and take her mother out of here. So, someone said that she stated she didn't know if the bed was going to fit in the room. Okay, well, if it's all decided after everybody does what they're doing that she's doing it, you just get another bed. It's the VA. That's why they're coming to your house on the 17th. So it might be a little bit of an adjustment until the 17th, or people listen to what I suggested and she go to a hospital and then you update all of her stuff. So, are they killing people in the hospital? Is that what it is? Because are they not qualified? Yeah. Well, there's some things that are sort of valid fears, but then there's other people that don't want people slipping into paranoid thinking. Okay, so she usually has a good rapport with the VA, and I did tell wait, did I tell Candy this or I forgot? They tried to take her to the VA like a year ago. Because she had an abscess and her whole side of her face was swollen and she smelled like infection, and they wouldn't treat her because I'm pretty sure Barbara said no. So yeah, if you ever do not treat, I don't know if she does or not. If you ever do not treat, then they honor that. So even if you lose the ability to make decisions for yourself, you had to do not treat before then. So yeah, because when I said something to him about call an ambulance and see if they'll help you put her back in the bed, he goes, I'm not going to do that. And I go, well, you better get her back in that bed or I'm calling the police. And he did it. Cindy, I'm calling the police. Okay, call them. Whoa, okay, well, that's weird because I would be afraid of the police. Yeah, so that's a person, I don't know, like I said, I don't know what she's been doing with herself, but that's way too cocky towards the police. This is not Dedham. That is way too cocky towards. If you know you, I mean, she couldn't even see the level of whatever there. If she doesn't want to make me responsible for Barbara, then she had to take her out of here, or call for a medical transport. Not she's moving in with me. So obviously she could have opted to do that. Okay, where you go, I can stay here with her. She never said that to me. Right. Just for the record, she never said that to me. Because yeah, I would have just left. Even though it's, not planned and the weather sucks, I would have just left. Well, if she wanted to give me 17 days or whatever, then she can move in after I leave. Well, I did hear a little bit of a different story, but you're probably not supposed to. You're probably not supposed to tattle on people. Everybody involved probably didn't know that, which is probably good when you don't have good relationship with your siblings or your cousins or whatnot. It's probably good. She told me the VA asked her at the time if she wanted to take over her care and bring it to her house, and she said no. Okay, so unbeknownst to her, other people said they don't want their mother in her care. Well, that's the other thing too. I really don't think if 6 people were alive, they would want me at somebody else's house again. I think everyone's had enough of it. You want to do something nice, but it's getting to the point of ridiculous of why I don't have my own house. Like, yeah, like I don't think anybody wants me in Cindy's care. Like, oh no, I'll be out in the street walking around to Taunton. Guaranteed. You have to know limitations about yourself. She wouldn't let me go there and visit her, not stay there, go for the day and visit with Jen. She wouldn't allow me to. So it's a similar situation to Tommy. Yeah, there's something wrong with them. Yeah. So I am not putting a shelter lets me talk to other people, even in a shelter. I never said anything about Brian had to sleep in the same room as me. Right. So. It was about trying to save a man's life. You didn't want to go into the shelter. Some people don't. Oh, you know what smell I'm not gonna miss? Yeah, those pads, those reusable pads. Just they completely smell like a person's shit. And then someone kept laundering them with the dish towels. Oh dear God, it's disgusting. She hasn't been getting like that lately once he started this new system. She took a solid poop. What was it, day before yesterday? Yeah. Once she started the new system, he started the new system of making sure she was up every morning in a chair. Right. It was working out. So I don't know if he saw a video I made or he heard me talking in the room or it was just God talking to him. I don't think I should use paper plates. Yeah, the other thing too is I wash every single dish before I use it. Here. I mean, it's not going to matter. I don't think I'm going to be here, but I wouldn't have to keep doing that with Tommy gone. Because she doesn't wash dishes anymore. So I'd be the only person washing dishes, so I know they were all clean. Like it was that disgusting. Yep. He thought it was disgusting too. At first he was like yelling at her about the dishes. But I don't know if he actually meant that she had to do the dishes, but to stop putting dishes away that are dirty. Yeah, you reach a point in life where you're not able to keep doing it for yourself or others. That's the other thing too. It's like you're not living in a house by yourself. Yeah, some of her attitude, like F you or whatever, like she probably thought the same thing some people do. Where these people are so mean. It's like we have to use these dishes. You understand how unsanitary that is? Putting dishes like that back that aren't clean. No, we the two of us really did not talk that much about her. You know how, like, at the other house, that's all we talked about was the bad stuff that Barbara was doing? Yeah, like children, little, or other people in the family. There wasn't that much talking, so yeah. Basically, you talk about the food pantry. He would bring up, like, some kind of news that was going on. That's the other thing too. Oh, there's more root beers in there. Where are all these root beers coming from? Did she have root beers hidden in that room? That's weird. She does that stuff anyways. I know, like, whoa, she's still doing that? I was just talking about how she can still get around in the wheelchair though. I put the knife away after I washed it. What the? Oh, that's right. I realized I don't need it. But I do because I have to slice cheese. I thought I wasn't going to need it because I took out the food and then I went, no, wait. I cooked these turkey burgers with that turkey he took out, so. Oh, so yeah, she had been depressed, so. It's just about getting her up and rolling around. Yeah, you got to think about it. If she was depressed with Tommy here, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to do anything to harm the woman even more. Just. She kind of really does change those diapers and stuff pretty. Cindy, she does really come in and do the bum thing. I guess I was told though that there's people, but are they going to come every day to change a poop? But yeah, she got in the potty chair, so we don't know, but I mean, eventually. But do they only have to do that with the diapers for a short time? She probably should have been seen after she fell in December. Yeah. I understand how those things happen. And then the longer it goes, the worse it is. Because whatever happened, he was probably afraid and he didn't want to take her to a hospital in December. And then it just gets worse and worse and worse the longer it goes, because now he has to explain to someone, okay, so she fell in December. Okay. They probably wouldn't even do it to him. If maybe that's common too. Yeah, I understand that. I really do. Nope. You got to think about my point of view. It's been 13 years. I have no say in that woman's healthcare at all. None. Yeah, and you just go, I'm not going to get kicked out to the street again. Obviously, I told them to pick her up off the floor. I called the police, right? I mean, they have my limitations, but I'm not going to end up on the street, and she still doesn't go anywhere. Do you know what I'm saying? No. Those days are long since over. I stay out of it. Maybe that's how everybody feels about it, about various things. Like, that's why they didn't do anything about anything, because, yeah, you do. You get that attitude where you go, someone else allotted her care to someone else and blah, blah, blah. I didn't really view it like that with him. So, but, well, yeah, that's true. That's a good point in terms of her asking about Cindy recently. Who else would she ask about? Yeah. And because Cindy's the only one that visits her. That is true. But she was pretty angry at Cindy, and last night she gets angry at me too, though. Yep. Like, everybody that's trying to do anything is ruining everything. But yeah, I'm sure she's probably like, I don't understand what the fuck's going on. Why am I being taken out of here? Because clearly Mary's going to end up homeless. So yeah, but I mean, sometimes, Barbara, that is just life. It's not your responsibility that your daughter's homeless. It's really not. Just, no one even cares about Mary's thoughts and ideas about the world anymore. Yeah, just, it's pointless. I'm sure I'm just viewed as like the problem in the family, and people are tired of fucking hearing about it. They don't want to hear it from Barbara anymore about what to do about Mary. You know, I get it. Just because you have a certain belief doesn't mean you don't understand other people, you know, especially after this much time. All of it. We have to do this. Why doesn't she have to do it? Because you don't know what else to do about it. That's why. That is why there's not really much to do. Really not. Oh, I can wash the floor. Yeah, it's not their job to do this, but I'm just saying, yeah, find out what the hell. How do you outlaw Florida alimony to try to murder a woman on the street? And just, let's keep talking about something else. That's why I told you, I can't even handle it with Cindy. I can't handle screaming at people and all that stuff that happened to me at the train and everything. It's just, it's an absolute disgrace. An absolute disgrace. You just let God handle it. Candy wasn't even in the house then. I don't know if anybody told her what happened, and sometimes the stories apparently get warped because people don't ask me. Did anyone ask me? Yeah, some dude was just coming into the house going, he would come in and go, Barbara, Candy. And then I told you I saw that paperwork this morning, and that's all it was to steal the woman's house. They literally threatened to put her into a nursing home. They wanted to take over power of attorney to get her house. Because you go, what difference would it make about her leaving the house if she needed, you get what I'm saying? That's the proof is right there. I have the piece of paper. If anybody didn't know, I don't know if Candy was required to go because it was Barbara and Candy. Yeah, you just go, that's your proof right there. They wanted Mary evicted to the street. Whoever it was that did that. Because you go, wait a minute. Why would that go away after we left the house? Get it? Absolute disgrace. Absolutely disgusting people. Because her house was foreclosed, that's why Tommy kept talking about 2008. But he didn't fight them when it came to that. He didn't get a firearm and all this. He just fucking left. I know you just go, they're attacking you with a fucking train now? like Jesus Christ. I guess it's time to move. Yeah, once you know any person that's psycho, you just go, oh boy, are you a psycho? Okay, I hope not. Hopefully, you were just in some sort of grieving process and you're just overwhelmed and you don't understand that if you're saying you're taking over someone's care, she doesn't need to be left here with me. But that's up to you. The whole parties involved and the VA. Obviously, the VA wants everything to stay whatever until the 17th at least. I just have food in my hair, yeah. Um, maybe. Maybe they figured this is pretty soon after. Okay. And she has other children because Candy was her person before. Yeah, because you go if whatever was good, the dynamic might have shifted because one of her children died. She got a tragedy, James. Don't say that stuff to her. She can't hear me talking. No, that's mean. The woman's son just died and she's that old. I don't care how abusive she was. That's mean. Um, her son died in the war. He did stop her from kicking me out of the house, though. We'll say that. Just, dude, I really appreciate it, but I got to be able to have a friend. I don't know. I've had a couple of retarded friends before, and I'm probably likely to meet more retarded people, given the people that I'm willing to associate with. Do you have $1 or $2? Yep. I don't know. I must just have a look about me, or the dude has seen me around before, or just is asking everybody. No, I can give them money. Yeah, I can. Yeah. I stopped giving it to Brian because I was trying to figure out. Well, I was trying to figure out if he really wanted to be with me, but in truth, it's because I saw what he was doing with the money. And I just immediately went, I'm never giving you any more money. Yep, just a person that it wasn't at $20, and he goes right to the package store and bought like 30% vodka nips. Why would any person need that much vodka in a day? No. Nope. No more Brian. No, no more Brian. No more money for Brian. He was getting bad though. Like he definitely didn't have as much hamburger as he was used to. He's putting bread with mayo and cheese. I don't know if it was because of the radiation. I don't remember ever complaining about sore knees. I know you go. Could you imagine? We don't know what happens when people die from cancer. Yeah, just you never know. I'm still waiting for those results. You go, Yeah, like he didn't have any immune system. I think Barbara was having issues. I definitely have, and the dog has. Oh no. Cheese grease. These are actually pretty good. I can see why he started eating the ground turkey. He said he ate it and then he replaced it with more ground turkey. And then all of a sudden I saw the same ground turkey show up in the freezer. It was like bizarre. I think it was like a mix up of our communication because he took out a meatloaf that we got from the food pantry and there must have been a second one. He must have been talking about that. He actually replaced something he ate and then he fucking died. I know, you go, wow. I got Tom Kent to replace a food he ate. Candy would go, good for you. And then, of course, he died. Just, seriously, dude, you're dead? What the fuck? Shocking. No, I'm serious. I'm not being a jerk. Just, I was hoping that I would die before her. I wonder if any of those thoughts were coming from him. Just, I feel that I do. I feel that he was afraid of her dying. He didn't want to deal with it, and it's just, I'm glad he didn't have to. Constantly, I'm gonna have to put her away. I don't want to. Blah blah blah. I guess was it? It had to be Scott. I guess Scott didn't know what happened at the hotel. It was that Candy I was talking to. Yeah. I usually don't talk to the cops that much either. That was the first time out there that I was talking to the cops like every day, every couple of days. The cop would check in with me. Just shut up. Everyone's gonna have an emergency now. How are you gonna get the same cop to come to your house? That was just so funny. Every couple of days, this cop was checking up on me. That's like a phrase that people used to use. Checking up on someone. Oh, is that when you give them the once over? Yeah, like you look like from down up. That's called, yeah, they used to call that giving someone the once over. Oh, I'm sure. No one should be doing that when you're in a relationship with another person. Yeah, you go, excuse me, what the hell? Did you just fucking check up on this person? Do they not use it in that? It's probably like another language where you go and they laugh. And the Spanish people go, huh? You don't use it like that. Oh. It's only like when you're cool and you're the one doing it, I got to go check up on, not when you're pissed. I don't even think you go who you eyeball. And that's when you're pissed at someone. No, not your boyfriend, not even that. That's just a stranger. You go, who are you eyeballing? What are you looking at? I don't know you. Like when they say try to talk to you, you got to go like, no, I'm teaching you how to stop being the way you are. Some people, and when they say how you got to go, I don't know you. Do that with your head. Right, because they actually don't want you to be, yeah, it's not a compliment, right? You go like a Scott, you just do a look and you go, I don't know you. But I bet you some of them do it. If they're cute, you do it, but you don't really scowl. And you just go, I don't know you, like in that coy way. So make sure your girlfriend's not doing that. I don't know you. Yeah, nice try. I've seen people doing that too. I pay attention. No, not like John Dubbins and Anarchy Princess. No, that was, I'm not used to seeing that. No. Outside of a gay bar? Yeah. Outside of a gay bar, yeah, because that is like deviance. It's not gay. You'd be outside of a bar. Yeah. Someone told me. Al told me because it was a gay guy at his work, and he probably wasn't even gay. Probably a tragedy of his life. He told Al that he used to the gay guys hang out outside of bars looking for intoxicated dudes. That's really not wise to do unless, excuse me, it's a gay bar, but still plying people with alcohol. That's how you get beaten up. I know, just what? Yeah, maybe Brian Buchanan does that. I don't know about gay guys. I was telling Scott, I go, yeah, I mean, obviously, I didn't have sex with them. Duh, I don't have sex with drug addicts. Just, I didn't even say sex. You don't say stuff like that to a family member. I just go, I didn't do anything with him, yeah. Because he asked me something, because he's had drug problems in the past. And I just go, I didn't do anything with him. Because he said something about us getting tested or something. I go, I didn't do anything with him. That's why I brought him to a hospital. Right, it's like, I know, I didn't even tell him that. I'm not discussing that with my nephew. No, I didn't tell him any of that. Just, I didn't do anything with him. So, well, yeah, if it's a family member, maybe, but another thing you got to question if they say you didn't do anything, but not anything that requires testing. But, I mean, it was a bunch. It wasn't just that, but you go, he's supposed to be in a detox. I'm not having sex with a drug addict, but all of it. Just, he asked me if he was from Boston. I go, I think he's from, I didn't say, I think he's from Foxborough, but he was in Boston, called himself Doug Durr Prostitute. And I was like, yeah, and most of his Johns, all of them are meals. So yeah, you don't have sex with the drug addict. You can just assume they're being prostituted to meals. Yeah. And you just go, Durr, a dude that drugged out. I go, because he's good looking. That's the problem right there. That's how they end up in that condition. The ones that are good looking. It's the worst. But just like Alex said. I still got that on, and I have the door closed on it. Nice. Yep, heat up the door. That'll really help things. All right, dog, come on. Come on, Peanuts. I got to get rid of this pumpkin, too. Tommy just wouldn't get rid of it. It's not even rotten. I kept saying it to him, too. I go, I don't know how that pumpkin is not rotten. It's amazing. He wanted to get into the holidays and stuff. He was putting what he could do, he put stuff up on the roof, remember? He was trying to have some kind of a life. Come on, Peanuts. Come on. Gotta get a can, man. Come on. Come on. Come downstairs. Well, that was good that Candy thought about the dog. Yeah. Because she probably is like, we got to do something about the dog if she's going to a shelter. Yeah. And I don't want the dog here. Yeah. As you can see, it's not going to work out. Yeah. Just, I'm not into abusing animals. Yeah. I don't think it's a good idea to keep in. If Barbara was going to be here, if some reason I was like looking into doing that, which I kind of don't think is going to happen, but, yeah, I wouldn't want to get rid of the dog for her sake, but maybe she doesn't even care. But it's nice saying I was contradicting myself earlier that maybe she doesn't even care. But it's Tommy's dog. Yeah, so she went through a phase where she kept talking about puppies. She liked having a dog, but she clearly can't care for a dog. I mentioned that, right? That dog that Tommy got her. Yeah, got hit by a car out front, so it's not even about me, it's about this dog is clearly not it's not gonna work out. Yeah, you know how some dogs, they don't even care who anybody is? You're like, "Hey, let's go." Like, the dog is old already, and it's, like, up and downstairs because that's where Tommy was. So, yeah, he has a leash. I thought that I'd be able to I didn't think about it long term, honestly. It's the 4th day, but like at least caring for him until Cindy dealt with what she was going to do and take her out of here. I figured she'd know she would take the dog with her. I'm kind of surprised she left the dog, but maybe some people think you like to have someone in the house with you. But she was so concerned about the dog feeding it, ordering me around about feeding it. Yeah. You go, isn't Mary completely incompetent? Why'd you leave that dog there? Get it? Right. Isn't she completely incompetent? Why'd you leave his dog there? What's his name? Bill Cosby? Yeah. I mean, this is a lot. Yeah, because the other thing too is somebody filled up a house with all kinds of shit. I know you just go, oh my God. That's why Scott went, no. He said he was here that day, and I could tell it didn't take him long to completely change his mind. Right. And you go, he just went, nah. Just and it's a good thing he didn't. If he had not just got an apartment, then what difference would it make? He probably would have done it, even for 30 days. Right? You go, oh, all right. Well, I was going to start looking for an apartment, but I guess I can wait 30 days. Right? Because you don't have to pay something for 30 days. But yeah, he just immediately started talking about the clutter, and it's like, I know, believe me. I mean, the dining room table, it's just like 12 Flanagan Place. Like, are other people gonna go, "We can't get rid of that because of grandma?" That's what would happen to me. If I ever said I'd take care of her here, that's what would happen to me. Same thing. Because she would see people taking the stuff out, and then she gets mad at you. I'll tell you this, though, she wanted him to get a dumpster in 2020, and he bought that trailer. I know you go, "That's a very expensive dumpster, $13,000 for a dumpster," because of his mental illness. Right? You go, she wants a dumpster, not a trailer. I thought, didn't they say words about a trailer? I think he actually said the word trailer once. Yeah. But he clearly didn't mean that, I guess. But she did. She meant it. Did he use her credit to get it? I know. He may have had good credit though, because he said something. He goes, "Oh yeah, I had to put myself in debt." Like when they moved here. So maybe he didn't have any debt. It's possible he used his own credit. I know he had no expenses and he had $2,000 a month in Social Security. So maybe he used his own credit. But yeah, you got to take everything with a grain of salt. Barbara's the one who told me she was paying half of his car payment, but that's when he had the orange car. Yeah, and there was one of those cards. Remember that? When he took her camping and they were trying to call the card because the card got shut off? And she didn't know her children's date of birth, so they wouldn't do it over the phone. That was 2019. It's 2024. It was a long time that she couldn't take care of her finances. Yeah, she was just like dulling out money for a while. Yeah, she doesn't care about money. That's what I'm saying. She doesn't care about any of that. She was always saying, I've got plenty of money. They do that when they're not even in charge of their money anymore. And they become confused because what is going on? She was just saying it the other day. Why don't I have any money? You just go, oh God, it's the why don't I have any money conversation. Are you about to die too? Remember, they told us that Tom Kent was talking like that before he died. Yeah, because it's sad. It becomes sad, doesn't it? You go, oh, that's when you realize, you go, oh my God, there's such a difference in the species. Just, and people that are so sort of like, they're like stuck in this world, but I've come to find out they don't really exist outside of it. But they're so stuck in this world. It's actually quite sad. But it's like such a mean psyche and stuff. It always comes across that they're wicked mean and stuff. And you just go, they themselves must think they're mean too, right? Like they know that the thoughts and stuff are mean. Okay, just whoa. But yeah, I mean, that's all they cling to the whole time. Like so that's all you have to do in life is money. Like they're so brainwashed by it. That's all you have to do is money. So when they're old, they're just like, what is this? I have money. Yeah, just that's all you can sort of like say. I have nothing. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do at those moments. To some degree, I'm tired of the back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, same shelter, same people, back and forth, back and forth. So it always sucks when you first go back to the shelter. But I feel way better after talking to them. Yeah. So, and then there's also the other shelter that I haven't talked to yet. That they don't have a person to talk to, but yeah, you just must go there. But even though I swore up and down, I wouldn't go back to that shelter. You just go, oh God. Like that, if that Danny person, if she's not on vacation, is probably like, oh my God, she's actually going to keep texting me. You're my caseworker. Are you going to claim you're not my caseworker like Luquette? Because there goes your psych eval. Right. If she's going to go, um, yeah, wasn't I supposed to give you a voucher? Yes. Yep. And Luquette said, if I didn't have any income, then that's what I paid. But if I had income, I paid 30%. So it's been now almost a year. Yeah. So, well, I was requested to wait and not leave. So, yeah, I definitely will be here through Saturday because I have to go to the funeral home. So, yeah, I'm sure they're probably gonna want clothing and stuff. I don't really think he puts any clothes in the closet. Let's go find out. We'll put our big people pants on right now. Let me unplug this thing while I'm not sitting down here. I probably shouldn't have done that. That's probably what happened. I unplugged it without shutting it off. And yeah, I could see that it did a little spark. So I probably shouldn't have done that. Okay. It didn't actually blow it. When the light's on, you have to reset it. So that must have been something that happened. Yeah. I don't think Tommy would have left it like that. So it something happened and it just wasn't reset. It's not blown. I'm gonna put these things down now because it's starting to get dark out and the neighbors are back. Well, yeah, I just thought of this too. I didn't get around to laundering his stuff. Where did I leave the thing? Over here. I didn't get around to laundering his bedding, so it looks like I'm not sleeping in his bed tonight. I know I said I wasn't going to sleep in her bed. Let me take a look and see how bad it is. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to put this on the charger. So I know I got to go up to his closet. I know, I'm sure he doesn't have any dress clothes. He has hardly any clothes. And I briefly, because I had never been in his room before, and I'm like, he doesn't even put anything in his closet either. It's not just the room I'm in. Okay. Well, I guess it's just a strange sort of house. Close these.
And they said they didn't find anything. Right. Now she's trying to raise enough money to recover the remains for DNA testing.
It seems like it's dry. That's what I'm saying. I hope she's drinking fluids. I'm sure Cindy's making sure she is. But you go, okay, so yeah, I mean, she's had the same bedding on. He must have changed her bedding, which means there's probably stuff I have to wash. He must have changed her bedding Monday morning, and it's the same bedding. So that's Monday, Tuesday, and yeah, she made it 2 days in the same bedding because that's what it was. She wasn't getting up, and she got up and sat in the thing and peed. Everything smells, but I don't think it's pee. Right. So, well, I might, but I'd have to bring my own blankets down here because there's a TV down here. And then watch people flip out. Oh my God. And then she was sleeping in the bed that she said I couldn't pick up. I know. And then someone else tells me that she's saying she doesn't even know if she can fit that bed in that room. Ay. Is there a bed in the room? Is she in a bed? Is she on the couch? You get rid of this. I might as well do the lockdown. I'm not going out because I don't have any aspirations of getting this dog outside today. So, this is why people live alone. Right, this is why people live alone. I mean, I had, I gotta put this one down, 6 children that are all in their 20s. All 6 of them are in their 20s. I know, could you imagine it? I'm stuck doing this because of an asshole. So, I know you just go, do. All 6 of them are in their 20s. So, how much work would I have to do in a house? Not much.
You guys are so right. You are.
That's right. This one is already broken, so you gotta do this. Da-da-da. That's how you get privacy. Not privacy is an excuse for a paranoid, whatever you want to call it. That's how you get you some privacy.
Series finales, teenage gossip, and destroying these guys. For the win. Do it all at once, fast.
Discover the Design Lab at Jordan's. Finish your space and make it you. With custom pillows, ornaments, and accent chairs. And now get up to 60 months no interest. Experience the choices at Jordan's.
Run, ride, or walk from Boston to the Cape. Support Best Buddies' mission to help people living with special needs. Help amazing people get jobs and live independently. Sign up today at bestbuddyschallenge.org/HP.
LSU basketball star Angel Reese is going pro, celebrating with a Vogue photo shoot.
Reese flips it up and in. She is unstoppable. It's Angel Reese like you've never seen her before. Glamour gal. She's posing for Vogue magazine in a skin-tight Valentino dress with Louboutin heels perched on her basketball. And here she shows lots of leg in a red dress with a slit up to there. The basketball star also made it official. She's turning pro.
Hey, well, today we're going to be announcing that I'll be entering WWE draft.
Affectionately nicknamed Bayou Barbie for her keen fashion sense, Reese posted a special video message to her fans.
This is for the girls that look like me, that's going to speak up for what they believe in. Bayou Barbie, out.
And now, Megan Alexander with some deals.
Thank you, Mary. Yes, we've teamed up with MorningSave.com and their lifestyle expert, Anna D'Souza. She's ready to share some amazing inside deals at deep discounts. First thing, we're going to talk about the Sharper Image Shiatsu Foot and Calf Massager. Megan, this massager provides a rolling shiatsu massage experience from calf to toe. It features 3 massage modes and 3 levels of compression intensity. It also has a seated option, which feels incredible.
I forgot to go in his room. I know. It sounds like it's like emotional. I don't want to do it, but I actually forgot till I started walking down here. So I brought goodies for myself. I'm still being paranoid about these cookies that I couldn't give Tommy and Barbara to eat. Yep. So it becomes crazy. It's like I can't stand here like that.
$250, but our price is just $25. It's 90% off, Megan. Huge savings. And finally, this is the Kathy Ireland 6-piece rayon from bamboo cooling sheet set. The company says these sheets will
I'm sure Candy felt weird like that too after she left the house. I'm sure she felt weird like that.
These sets are available in 14
Yes.
different colors. They come in sizes twin, full, queen, and king. A lot of choices. What's the difference? Well, we've seen these sell for as much as $79 to $109, but our price is just $29.99 to $39.99. That's 63% off. Some great items today. Thank you, Anna. For more information about these deals, scan the QR code below.
Just the number of years we were living in the house like that together. That was a long time for a bunch of adults to live in a house together with their mother. Yeah. Just, it's probably pretty upsetting to Candy. Like, living with someone isn't everything, but you go, maybe like, yeah, in terms of Tom Kent's estate, maybe let Candy kind of do that. Is that the right remote? One of them goes upstairs. I think they both work on the TV though, because I found hers. That should be right here on a windowsill, but obviously be wicked prone to falling, and I need this thing. I know I might. Who knows? Maybe I'll actually fall asleep. I might want to think about bringing my phone down here if I'm going to be down here. So I think it's probably going to be at least a few days until people sort out what's going on. So I'm waiting to hear back from people. Tomorrow's another day. Yeah, I mean, I would think 15th or 17th or whatever. It just depends on what happens, right? Because I want to make sure that people have time to go through people's belongings and stuff. So, I don't care about anybody else except for her because of what happened. And if she came at the same, not her children, nope. If she came at the same time as a bunch of other people, then it would be different too. Yeah. So if they sort of resolve their differences or whatever, and then they want to come and start taking stuff out, that's fine. I just don't want to be like ever in alone in this house with her, even if she's with their children. And it's nothing against them, but that's not going to curb her behavior. That's asking too much of them. So I don't know if it's a lack of resources because, yeah, if you don't have money, then you're asking all these other people to do things. So, I mean, I can't ask anybody to do things because I don't have anyone to ask and I don't have any money. Yeah, you just go. But I never had a chance. I still haven't even been to the food pantry. But it's not like I'm in a parent's house and I was taking care of one of them and they died. It's not even that. Tommy was taking care of someone and he died. So it's weird, but I'm sure it happens. I was saying that during COVID. I go, it seems like that's what it is, that you have like an elderly person in a house with one of these middle-aged people, and then the middle-aged person gets sick and they have to hospitalize the old person, and the old person is like still making it about them. I remember saying it very clearly, like still making it about them. So
And the chance at clear or almost clear skin. It's like the feeling of finding you're so ready for your close-up. Or finding you don't have to hide your skin. Just your background.
it's so weird too because Barbara, even though she's out of it and doesn't talk to her siblings anymore, she was just getting to the point in her life where she was losing her siblings. See how weird it is? People are dying like way younger. And yeah, she started having children when she was young. It's just kind of unnatural, isn't it? Just, yeah, like now we have siblings that are dying. She still has brothers and sisters. Tom Kent still has siblings that are living. It's unnatural to me. But it is the Passover, so people are gonna go where they're supposed to go. It depends. Some people have probably gone out of their way to quote unquote do the right thing, and it's just really kind of about what your desires are. It seems weird, like I don't do anything. I understand that, and I explained it's not really human behaviors. I would have to do a lot more than I actually do, but it's really about walking because of the fuel use. It's like a basic thing, especially because the fuel use is making people sick. So maybe someone might have came and shut it off, but it looked like it was on. Maybe he wasn't going to use as much oil, but I mean, that thing was burning. But I just find it symbolic, like God's going, why would you have oil in a tank? You're not supposed to be doing that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's why he bought all these space heaters and then he couldn't do it. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know he had that many space heaters. But it explains why it was so friggin' hot. Remember I told you this past winter, how hot it was down here? Yeah, I don't know if that had something to do with they've done that before. That's not even new. I shouldn't even go there with that. Yeah, now that I think about it, that's definitely not new. The only thing that would have actually curbed his fuel use was that he had to pay for it. Yeah. He was the one who was constantly talking to Candy and Barbara about getting more fuel. Oh, yeah, just he was like wanted everybody dead if he knew what he was doing. Oh, I didn't bring my headphones down here. I know, I'm just like, so I'm sure they go, oh, you really miss your mother now. She's only been gone one night. She wasn't even gone by this time last night. It's a way different when an older person dies, by the way, than what happened to Tommy. That's a totally different thing. And you would hope to God that by the time your parents are that old, that you don't end up in a situation like this. But I'm sure it still happens, even in this modern day. You have people that want to take away Social Security death benefits. It's not just alimony. It's alimony too, but then they want to make dead sure I'm not going to get his benefits when he dies. So what if I was living with my 6 children, which I should have been, and then they could have the opportunity to exit his 20 if they wanted to. And then I don't get his Social Security when he dies. He can't even pay his alimony anymore. Get it? They don't get it. They get it, but they don't get it. So all of that stuff is not going to rebirth you.
How many thongs would you say have been thrown at you in your lifetime? This one thong, it like opened up like a parachute, like, ooh. They say make your mess your mission. Paris Hilton is doing just that. Welcome to Expert. I'm Billy Brooke. About 20 years ago, Paris parlayed socialite into spotlight. She was the proverbial it girl, and now a much nobler parlay. It girl to advocate for abused teens, a mission born from her own painful past. Here's Mel.
I'm a survivor of the troubled teen industry, and as a parent, I am horrified by the allegations made by young American boys who were rescued from Atlantis Leadership Academy.
I was praying pretty hard last night because it was so cold outside. It just seems a weird thing, but it was actually like hurting. I know. I said I was going to go out there tonight, and I didn't do it. Sorry, I just not feeling up to it tonight. Not that I helped anything last night. I know you go. He needs another $2. Can someone go to Forest Hills? This is probably close to that time, and see if that dude is there that needs $1 or $2. If anybody's watching this, if you know you're not doing anything, it's weird. I know it's weirder when you live alone to put your fur coat on and go down to the bus, but they run that bus till like 12 a.m. I know, just the train is wicked expensive. The train would go right to South Station, but it's too much money. Because then I wouldn't have had to wait for the bus last night. I contemplated it and I didn't do it. And then I could have walked through the tunnel. Yeah, there's a tunnel there now between Downtown Crossing and Park Street, where you can just walk to Park Street. You don't even have to take a train to Park Street. You just walk through this tunnel. And there's sometimes people down there. Yeah. Especially with the rain and stuff.
Meeting Paris, who I found completely compassionate, completely credible. She is exposing her trauma and her soul to the world to bring voice to other youth experiences.
I guess, I don't know. I guess a cop wouldn't be homeless. I don't know, maybe they could be. Where would they live, though, for their own safety? I don't think you're allowed to have cops homeless because it's too dangerous for them. Because people would recognize who they are. It's not like they have a disguise on, but they do. I don't think they're supposed to be living in a population like that where everyone can access them. Remember that poor guy, that Ruggles? I know. This guy might be married too. He has a beard. Like, didn't you say a thing about beards? I know. I should stick to that because I didn't look at his hands. No. He didn't say his name either, so. Laying down. Well, I'm away later today, but I drank some water. I ate some food. I got this over here if I eat some more food. Yeah, I mean, when you're financially stable, I don't know if you would have waves like that where you just go. Every time you want to relax, it's not going to go away. Yeah, every time you want to relax, it's not going to go away. It's just more worry. I'm so glad that Barbara doesn't have to go through that. I really think if she was here with me right now, she'd be petrified. As it sinks in and sinks in. Right, you just go. She would be like, I remember she was flipping out when Tommy's truck was broken and he wasn't fixing it yet. She was wicked concerned about his truck being broken. Yep, I remember that day. She was really upset. Like, why isn't he fixing his truck? because it was raining, right? And just, yeah, she never liked it when I was walking to the food pantry. She always wanted him to give me a ride. I think she's afraid for my safety because of the things that have happened to me. It really shouldn't make any sense that this is still going on about destitution and homelessness. I could tell that Scott was getting uncomfortable about it too. Um, right. I mean, I guess I'm not offended by it, but I don't think he's really getting it yet. Yeah, it's just I'm a do not treat, so I don't know. They don't give people Social Security on a medical, but you don't really have to worry about that. They have shelters. You don't have to have an income to live in a shelter. I know they did that thing about the 9 months. It doesn't mean that the people working there are going to enforce it. And 9 months is a long time from now. 9 months is a long time. It's almost a year. Right. So that doesn't mean the people working there are going to agree to kick people out that they know don't have an income, especially when they're medically ill. I wouldn't say I'm ill, but I have a medical condition. Yeah. Is that my phone again? It's got to be. There's no other phones here. See how loud it is? It's up in the room plugged in. I can still hear it. I wouldn't really have another reason to go up there tonight. I might want to think about brushing and flossing. That would be weird, wouldn't it? I know you just go, why would living with these people stop me from brushing and flossing? Strange. He can't hear me. She can't hear me, but it seems really unfair to put that on them. I don't know. It's weird. Yeah, it's weird to be sort of like afraid of people that are mean, but they're terrified of being away from you. You know? Remember that? I do. Mary's gonna take care of us, and then everything fell apart because of her behavior towards me and the fact that we got evicted from the house. He didn't want me cooking. I tried doing that when I first got here. And she was still doing dishes. And she would get mad if I did them. So, just for the record, I did light cleaning when I first got here. And yeah, it's just, it starts to get old when certain things happen. But I know it's not dirty here. No, it's cluttered with stuff. It's not like at the other house because all there was his dog. And up until now, his dog was not doing that. It would be occasionally, it would go to the door and take a pee because his dog's getting older. And in the past year, his dog's been having a lot of problems in relation to the nuclear material. The dog gets really weak in the legs and gets sore. And he has to carry the dog up and down the stairs. That dog is used to laying in a bed probably 23 hours a day. Right. So even, yeah, it shows you he was not taking that dog out that often. I know it's weird. The two of them, like that dog literally hardly ever drank water. Yeah. So he probably put the dog out when he was cooking Barbara's meals. I know he did it in the morning. And then I don't know what he did at night because I spent so much time in that room. If I wasn't coming back from a walk or cooking food, you never saw me. Like literally, I never came down here and watched TV with them. I mean, do you see another chair? That's his chair, and she had her chair, the wheelchair. Yep. I don't think they honestly cared that I didn't watch TV with them. I don't remember them ever inviting me to watch TV with them. I know you just go. I think he like, yeah, I hate I go back and forth, but you go certain things. I know you go, whoa. It's like they just wanted me stored in a room. And then you say good morning to me and stuff. Because when would we have conversations? I was thinking about that the other day too, when I could hear him yelling, "Conversations will take place." That's like when I first got here. I think he was actually talking about her. Yeah, I think he was actually talking about her because she was already having issues peeing herself. I don't remember her doing that at the other house. And like I said, it's been real good lately. And obviously, the stress, she probably wasn't drinking as much as she usually does. And she likes those sodas. She rolls that wheelchair to the box that's usually next to the fridge and gets soda. So, yeah, it was bad news when Tommy died. And I don't even have a SNAP food card. And as you could see, I called them again even after he died, and they're still treating me like that. Yeah, you go. Say that a person is in a house like that. The person can't leave because they're with someone that requires round the clock care. I know you just
Macy's VIP sale is truly the best time to shop, with an extra 30% off designer brands. Plus, beauty lovers get 15% off too. Get ready for spring today at Macy's.
nice. Nice, Chave. It's pretty morbid. And his breath as an overflowing stream shall reach to the midst of the neck to sift the nations with the sieve of envy. And there shall be a bridle in the jaws of the people, causing them to err.
I felt defeated, but since getting the arch supports from the Good Feet store, I have had no pain, which still is kind of crazy to me. I'm more positive. It's like opening up a whole new life, like sunshine coming up. I would recommend it to anyone. You've tried everything, it's not working, give it a try. See how we can help you too at the Good Feet store.
I'm John Morgan. Today, I'm proud to announce that Morgan & Morgan is not only America's largest injury firm, we're also the only injury firm in the world.
Yeah, remember when he used to do that weird breathing? I don't think he was doing that anymore. I wonder if it was from the medication. Well, I only say it like this, like you would hear him doing that from several rooms in a house. Right. So if his TV wasn't on and he slept with his door open at night, I would think you would hear that. I slept with my door closed, so I don't know. Maybe he was still doing that, but that was some weird thing he was doing at Flanagan Place. I don't think he was doing that here. I don't know unless it's related to the drugs he was using. He was using a lot more drugs then, I think. I feel like I've been x-rayed like 1,000 times. My lungs. I'm probably wicked tired. And again, it's supposed to be carb week. I was probably already depleted from what I was doing beforehand. So I'm gonna drink some more water. No, I don't have any swelling. My knees seemed better. Was it yesterday I said my knees hurt? From the radiation. That's not from my medical condition. I questioned that before, and then it happened again in the summertime. It's definitely from the radiation. When I'm not, we must have got like a wicked lot of it, and because it's not summertime, just I kind of go like this. I'm not even looking at it in terms of the air temperature, and then it got real warm. It's how cold it got afterwards. Yeah, that's like retraction, huge, which means it's April, so it's probably supposed to be about what, 50 degrees? It's probably supposed to be about 50 degrees. It is Massachusetts, so you could probably even have a 45 at the beginning of April, right? But then, whoa, when I looked at my phone on the bus, it said it feels like 27. It's like, what the hell? I hope that's not something important. I'm probably gonna have to bring my phone down here. I just got comfortable in somebody else's bed. That was actually so warm, I had to take the robe off. Cold up there. Come on.
It was a granny panty, not a thong. So the granny panty
Come on, doggy dog. Should I risk plugging that thing in here? I know. Oh, really? You like living alone? I talk into a computer. That's why. I talk into a computer. Nobody. Well, I don't want to insult the viewers. Nobody wants to listen to someone talk all day like that, just not with nothing coming back to them. That's crazy. But I don't have other people to talk to, so.
A lizard is slithering. Does he have any redeeming qualities? Like if we looked up the lizard in the dictionary?
Yeah, lizards are really super fast, man.
They better be if Jay-Z is coming.
Please don't cause a problem.
You gotta think about it, though. That was moving around pretty fast in that costume.
Hey, you did a great job.
It's freezing up there. That dog is gonna have to come down here. What the hell?
Long live the lizard, says Sir Lion.
Right. I know. I was so warm. I took the robe off, and then when I went upstairs, oh my god! I know. As soon as the heat's only been off for. Was it on the 1st? Yeah. It must have shut off. I don't know if it was on the 1st. I don't remember now. But it definitely was not on the 2nd. Yeah, and it was like, does this house cool right off as soon as they not having the heat on? Holy shit. Was it running? Yes, it was. It was on the 2nd. That's why at first I didn't know if someone shut it off. Wouldn't I be able to see if someone shut it off? It probably has got to be a coincidence because someone actually, I think it was Cindy, said, oh, the heat's running. Because it was warm that day. It's like, wow, that heat is running. And I was like, yeah. Because it was like sweltering down here this winter. I don't know why I'm doing this. All right, so. Yeah, I feel better. I think I feel better after talking to Candy, I got to say. No, it's not going to have any difference in terms of like my homelessness, but well, it might. We'll see. I don't want to obligate anybody to anything. Yeah, I know. I'm waiting to see what they decide they're going to do. Let them do what they're doing. And God does his thing and people talk to Barbara and all that. We'll see. I still wanted her to go. It's been since 2020. Are they not going to let her leave if she goes for a checkup or something? I know you just go. Is that how they're doing it now? They just let the families decide, I guess. But they're all afraid of me ending up homeless. I don't know if that's exactly a reason to, yeah. I get it. I'm concerned about it too. Right, but yeah, I mean, I let her know that I did actually talk to the shelter. Oh God, she's still texting me. What the fuck? Yeah, it is outside. I told you that. Yeah, no one's gonna steal it.
With Straight Talk Wireless, you get unlimited data and you get a Samsung Galaxy A15, so you can give your janky phone to your kid. Yeah.
Turn your tax refund into a U-fund.
I don't want to be mean because I can tell she's having a crisis, right? She's gonna pick it up tonight. It's already 7:19 at night. Is Justin there? I hope so. Right, like. I don't know if I want to obligate myself to tomorrow. I know that I should probably give her a chance because she's going to have to call that Scott guy back again too. Maybe someday next week when it's not freezing cold, but maybe that shouldn't matter. I still have the fur coat. Being overheated is better than being cold. I learned that last night. Oh, TY. What does TY mean? I don't know what TY means.
I don't know what that means. No idea. Should I say something about the bed? I'm going to wait just because of things that people were saying to me. I'm going to wait just in case. It just makes things way too complicated. I think it's better to wait a couple of days. Right. If there's a thing where people, okay, maybe this is Daniela.
The great outdoors, soaking up the warm sun, chasing the dog, letting the kids win. Enjoy it now and get up to 60 months no interest. Experience the fun and joy.
Closed captioning and other considerations for extra provided by.
I remember seeing the menthol cigarette ads, talking about how they were fresh, soothing. Here's my tip. Smoking any type of cigarette can cause a stroke. There's nothing soothing about that.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800 right now.
Oops.
Johnny returns to the big screen for the first time in 3 years in Jean Louis.
She said, welcome back to the shelter, but she's saying the same thing. They were saying that it's a warming center right now because they're at capacity. I know exactly. I was thinking it yesterday myself. Just this is not a good day. Now it's doing the same response it was doing before. I don't know. Maybe she had me blocked. Yeah, now it's maybe she was in the office when I sent the text. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I don't have any suspensions. I don't think my Twitter account's back on. Remember that? Yeah, I don't think my Twitter account's back on. I can check. I don't remember now because I've been under so much stress. So it's probably a good thing I checked my messages. I'm already 100% charged again. I know she probably knows I'm laying right in the woman's bed. I put my blanket. I'm sleeping on top of her blanket, and I have my own blankets. I didn't even take her stuff off. You know how many times she's peed and pooped in this thing? That's some serious depression right there. That is seriously depressed. She had just... No, he knew. I don't even blame him, as bad as it sounds, because I was living here with them. She just fights you, and he would have no idea that was going to happen to her. And it was part of his stress. He was just like in a living nightmare for a good 4 months of his life. He was just in a living, breathing nightmare. I completely understand it. Because I couldn't help him with her. Right. I couldn't help him with her because she would be fighting me. And I did. I actually helped her with diapers a couple times. He asked me once if I put that medicine on her, and I did. Like, he literally was not going to touch her, is what it was. He literally would not put his hands on her at all. He just wouldn't do it. Right. So I had to do it, and then Cindy would come over and do it. And he was yelling at her to do it herself. She was doing it herself, and she's like getting upset and crying and stuff. And it's like, yeah, I mean, he was like screaming at her to put the stuff on her. That Bombex stuff. Just That last time, I think the last time ended her doing that stuff because it was wicked painful, you could tell. And she laid on her side, so it was the side of her thigh. She just stayed in the same position like that. You just go, what in the holy hell? I think after that, he knew he had to get her. He didn't even have to physically put her in the wheelchair. I think once or twice he probably did. It's because of her depression. Yeah, if you're not used to people like that, you might think they're physically ill, but they've got to be taken out of bed and put in a chair. And I don't know, maybe other people scream and yell at them too. But it's always good if they find a caregiver that they respond to and they don't have to do that. I know, like, here we go. I know, because as soon as Cindy and Jake left that night, she seemed agitated. I could tell she did a fart, and I didn't know if she pooped herself, and I knew that's why she was doing it. I was sitting in the chair. I knew that's why she was doing it, and it was probably going on with Tommy too, because he would feel he was supposed to be down here with her, and he wanted to watch TV and stuff, and she isn't communicating anything that's going on. And as soon as Cindy and Justin left, remember, I went upstairs and went, what in the hell is that smell? And I came down and I was like, are you okay? Do you need help changing anything? And that's when she told me she took a poop. She seemed wicked pleased with herself too. And she goes, I filled the thing up. Like she took a humongous poop. And it stank. So I took it right out. She goes, oh, you don't have to do that. I go, no, I do. It's like really stinky. No, I wasn't mean to her, but I was like, no, I'll do it. Yikes. You just take it and dump it in the toilet. Yeah, I mean, when she can get up and sit on that thing, it seems weird to someone's in a wheelchair like that and like she's never bathing. But Cindy was setting up a thing in the shower. Like it seemed, I don't know why it took 2 years to get a shower and to get a seat in a shower and a porta potty. I think Tommy maybe didn't want her to have a potty in here because he was trying to get her to walk back and forth to a bathroom. He knew that she didn't need the thing. I agree, she didn't need the thing then. But after she fell, she needed it. Yeah, but she didn't need it when he was saying that. She's got a psychological problem. She was gonna piss herself till she got a potty chair in here, like a child. And then what was the other thing? The shower chair. I disagreed with that. I never said to him, why doesn't she have a shower chair? Apparently he didn't move the shower chair from the house. Did he think she didn't need a shower chair? Is it because there was a bench in there? That might be why. Yeah, it doesn't mean he was doing it on purpose. It's just he was kind of dumb. Yeah, she can't sit on that thing. And then it was filled up with stuff. There was nowhere for her to sit. It was filled up with shampoos and things. She could have been the one who did that. Yeah, she was still walking around, like I said, doing dishes, sorting groceries. She attempted to make an egg when I first got here 2 years ago, and she got upset she couldn't do it. So, didn't she cook something after that? Yeah, believe it or not, she actually cooked that. She actually cooked something like 2 years ago. I know people go, oh my God, if the person degrades that quickly, now they don't want to take on a person who asked them to take care of them, probably. It depends. You need to find out if they have an underlying psychiatric condition. Stuff like me, I think it depends on the shelter in the state. Yeah, like what to do about a person that for some reason no one will give her an income to live on. Yeah, I don't know. It's scary because if you had family members insisting that you have to live with them and stuff, it's just like, um, can't we just live in the shelter? I mean, they're at capacity. That should tell you something, right? It's a warming center. Like they don't even have mats on the floor, right? You can get a mat on the floor. They don't have any beds, and she said that right now it's a warming center, so you have to sit. That's why they told me to wait. Yeah, if you're not like let other people go into the place who are not doing this right now, because I've been there. Even though people think I haven't been, I don't know if they thought stuff was histrionics and stuff. Um, Probably in a household like that, if you don't take off once in a while, I thought it might make the abuse worse, but it probably didn't. Right? You go, and then they know that, yeah, because it's not like I started doing more and more each time I came back. I probably was doing less, but um, they know that you will leave if they get abusive enough. They 100% know you will leave. Even when she was walking, like it gets wicked depressing because old people that don't have their family around them, yeah. And I think some of it has to do with so much clutter and stuff, but yeah, like someone like that, where that's all she was doing, she would like make up things to do, and she'd get up and all she could do was walk around this in a circle right here, and in some sort of like madness. That's all she could do. It's weird because she didn't really do anything before, but I think she thought she did. I think she thought she did. Whereas Tommy, I think he was depressed, but you go, he yeah, I know. It seemed like at first he was like zen with his entire lifestyle, but I think at the end, the last few years of his life, I think it was starting to bother him. Yeah, you go. Someone, I don't know if someone takes out a retirement if they're suicidal. So maybe he was never actually suicidal, which is what I worried about. I figured he was suicidal a lot, but why have a pension and an annuity and worry about your credit if you're suicidal? But that can be a hellish existence, like a bulimia, where maybe every day he thought he could get better, and it's all part of the nightmare that they exist in because nobody helps them get out of it. Basically, I know it sounds bad, like you just like the dude. Well, he can't even say anything now, and that's probably about the worst I have to say about him. I know it's weird. Just I think we all go back and forth. We all go back and forth because he clearly was mentally ill. The man was mentally ill. So um, that's a big guy who seems loud and aggressive, but supposedly he did actually physically attack Jared. So that is concerning. And he dodged at the police once. That was the 2017. He dodged at the police and he was told to think about moving out of his mother's house. That was in 2017. I think I'm starting to get a panic attack because she said she was coming in. It's got to be that. Yeah. So, yeah, because I'm hormonal too. I don't want to blame everything on her. Does anyone know why she would drive all the way here from Norton at 7 something at night? It sounds like Danielle is saying, I probably said it in the text, I know. I have it on the phone. Yeah, basically, wait till the 17th because as the summer comes, sometimes there's less people. I'm kind of surprised there's that many people there. It's kind of disheartening, but I'm glad they're not outside. Yeah, and I don't know, maybe you have a group of people that came out of housing they were in, like I was talking about, that wasn't good for them. Not housing, but if they were off the wagon, yeah, that hopefully it's, people that, uh, I don't know. I hope it's not people that they're being forced out by people flipping out because of the weather and stuff. It's clearly people might be starting to feel like something's wrong, but I guess it just depends on your point of view. It's not like we're in a tidal wave. Okay. And if they're not attuned to the Bible and they're not worried about the Passover, so unless they know people that have been dying, have people been dying like that? Because, yeah, that would probably really frighten me more because that would clearly be something going on with the radioactive material. I know you go, I thought they were dying of cancer. Yeah, unless he had cancer. Um, um, does anybody know, like, because I came up here in 2011. Yeah, I visited here before because Jim was still living in the house when he said the thing about I should never right to vote. Does anybody know when he started yelling like that? Because that was a long time ago. That was way before I came up here. It's been a long time since Jim lived with them. So, God, what year did Jim? Was it around like 2002? When did he say? Yeah, that's a long time. That's 22 years. When did he start yelling like that though? Like growing up, I'm trying to think back. I mean, I don't really remember a lot of time spent with Tommy when I was like in high school. I remember Jim around a lot. It was Tommy's room in the basement then? He was spent a lot of time in the basement. And then he got a house. Is that why he moved out? Did he ever have like a room? Didn't he? Is he the one that did a room in a rooming house for a while before he bought his house? Yeah, he must have been like spending an enormous amount of time by himself in that basement. Yeah, I'm trying to think back. I remember when Jim spilt boiling hot water on his foot because he used to make tea all the time. He was like young. I don't know. He was probably like 10 or 12. And he always was playing Super Mario Brothers, like to the point where he'd get dark circles under his eyes, like Jen from playing Mario Brothers. And he wasn't even using drugs. Right. So he accidentally poured boiling water on his foot once. I just remember the incident because it was like his foot was all red and stuff. It's like, whoa, that must hurt, dude. Um, right in the living room, you would think nobody was even fighting him over a TV. Yeah, you go with that many people in a house. Candy probably wasn't living in the house then, neither was Cindy. So I'm wondering if Tommy briefly wasn't living there. I know because you go, was it just Jim and me and Barbara for a while? Yeah, I'm trying to think like high school time. There was usually a bunch of people in the house at a time. But for a period of time, it was just Barbara and Jim. And then Jim had a girlfriend. So it was just Barbara, Jim, and his girlfriend in the house for quite a while. And then I think Jim and his girlfriend helped her file bankruptcy. And that was probably a lot for him and his girlfriend to handle. even way back then, because she was probably way more bossy. She was like probably basically controlling the entire house, wouldn't let them clean it, following them around, probably going to the sink when they took a shower, all the stuff she does, I swear to God. I can just imagine. But yet, completely uh, dependent, histrionic and dependent, but like running the whole thing. Oh, yeah. I'm familiar with Barbara. Yeah, Barbara Kent. Yeah, I'm familiar with her. That's why I stay out of it. Um, like, even like this is sort of like, I guess, new for me in the past like 2 years. Um, I stay out of it. Yeah, because I'm actually not a bossy person, but Alfred might say something different. I'm actually not. I'm a wicked sort of like a meek, um, non-controlling person. Yeah. Maybe some of it, like when I would say stuff about, and then the mayonnaise, like, but I'd say it online. I wouldn't say it to him like that. So I don't know which you prefer. Person who's like wicked controlling and you have a battle war over my mayonnaise, or eventually I feel bad and I buy more mayonnaise if I can. Because I think the only time I cared is when people kept cutting off my resources. If I remember the past 2 years, each and every time it was because I didn't have a SNAP card. Remember when I bought like 4 containers of mayonnaise? He probably thought it was funny. Oh, yeah. He was probably like, well, that's good. She's buying mayonnaise. I mean, I don't know. He might have been like, oh, I hope she's not doing that cunty thing, like buying 4 mayonnaise. Yeah, because I want mayonnaise for my dinner. I noticed someone started eating that mayonnaise that I said someone stuck their finger in. Weird. It was probably Barbara. Yeah, because she can roll that thing around. That's when you have to start worrying about your food. Wait till she starts opening up Cindy's refrigerator and her freezer every day. No, she doesn't do anything. That's like the weirdest thing I've seen yet. She just opens the stuff and bows at it. But she'll probably sort your food. She'll sort it. She'll move it around and see what you have in there. Like, I think she thinks she's supposed to do it. I swear to God. Especially, I think she thinks she's supposed to do it. It's like a demented version of a homemaker, like a demented version of a mother. Yeah, I remember when it was Candy and Norman and Barbara. I caught her sorting the garbage, and I was like, "What is she doing?" It's like so freaky when you see someone that sick. She thought she was supposed to sort the garbage. Yeah, I don't. You'd have to ask her what she was doing. And then remember, I told you there was garbage down in the basement at the other house. You go, oh God. Oh no, that's just Pluto. I don't know about intense uh, thrillers when I'm living by myself. Yeah, I don't know about that. Especially with no internet, with like Twitter and stuff on it. I don't know about intense. That's what's good about a rooming house, like a room, like the thing at the, especially the thing at the shelter, because they have a mommy and a daddy that oversee everything. Apartments are nice too. Yeah, because especially an apartment complex, it's almost kind of the same thing. It's like a group think, and then you have a phone if you have to call the police. Yeah. Um, but no, I don't have to live in a rooming house. No, apartment. I like apartments. I like the 1 bedroom apartment. Yeah, but the thing that's good about being in a rooming house like that is it's kind of like this, but the people are not allowed to abuse you like that. Because I'm sure most of those people, it's the same thing. They all retreat into their childhood thing, and none of them talk to each other. It's probably nice when you get one where there's other people that are. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of like a one. I'm kind of like a one bedroom or a house type of gal, because I can socialize. Yeah, like the stuff that I just did last night. Tommy would never do that. he couldn't even get himself to drive to like an art museum or the parade in Salem. And I explained to him about the train and stuff, and he still didn't do it because he told me just last fall he like admitted it that he keeps thinking about doing stuff and he cannot get himself to do it. He was like trapped in it. Probably if he had ever been in some kind of program and he was forced to do it, he probably would. Yeah, like a group of people. When it's a whole group of people, you don't think about it. If someone was like, say that someone had one of those like vans and they were like, yeah, so we're gonna do this, and he would get in it and go. He probably would get in it and go, and then once you do that a couple of times, yeah, then you a person like that becomes less and less afraid. I know. Could you imagine a person like him being forced to go into a shelter? But they cocooned him with Social Security, so he never had to do that. But he would have been terrified. Yeah, he would have been terrified in a place like that. So, if a person has to die, like I think about the things that God spared him that he was probably afraid of. Right? Like if he got sick and his mother's gonna die, now what is he gonna do? He has Social Security, but he probably was still feeling like he could independently live, though. Right? He didn't have aspirations to hold on to this house. That's why it's a rental. That's why I told you I was surprised that he did that. Being Tom Kent's kid, you would think he would have bought a house, but he didn't think she was going to live long enough, I guess, to pay it off. But why have an annuity and a pension, but then pay that much rent? Probably because it wasn't his money. Yeah, he probably was like, she wants a house. She wants to have people come here if they need to come here. But it's got to be family members. We found that out. Um, yeah, you got to only associate with your family, apparently. I don't know if I mentioned this a couple of years ago, and it might have been when we went camping. He mentioned that he was having issues where he was leaking urine. I know you're just like, okay, why am I being told this by my brother? Right. So he was that unhealthy. Yeah. That unhealthy. And you go, that's got to be a mentally retarded person, right? Yeah. It's like, it's this sad. He's mentally retarded, but he didn't sound mentally retarded when he was talking. He just sounds like an asshole because he never went into any kind of program. That's what happens. Did he talk loud like that when he was a kid? Yeah, just that's why he didn't know how to socialize because he's mentally retarded probably, and he was never put in a program. And I think he actually thought he was highly intelligent, but I explained that some of the stuff he was talking about is like extreme overthinking. Not like overanalyzing people, like complicated math equations that aren't correct. That's how I would put it. Like, yeah, just a person who thinks that they're like a genius in mathematics and they write out all these equations and they don't mean anything. Why space all those books out to cover up a floor and then do it with videos in the other room? And then the business when he put all those jars on that table and then he put weights on the table. You know, you go, what is that? Anybody that came in here and saw the room he was in the other room, they probably just went, oh my fucking God. Because that clearly isn't Barbara doing that, and Mary doesn't do that. So it was probably disturbing because none of those people had been upstairs. Even Cindy hadn't been upstairs at all. Just like I thought she never saw the third floor. Tommy never invited them to go up there. So yeah, you just go, oh my God. It's very, very sad. That's why people go into specialized housing. Well, if she had died and that didn't happen to him, um, he would have been, I think he would have been good in specialized housing, right? Which means it's almost like what they do. It just does, the Mary Gladys doesn't need that. And yeah, it's like whatever, frustrating. But if that's what they have available, that's what they have available. Sometimes you go, okay, so why are you checking my room? This business with the no overnight guest stuff, you go, oh my God. When you're in a rooming house with other people, I can understand it. Yeah, I can understand it in that case. Not an apartment, because the other people living there prefer it that way. And then there's always two or three of them that go, yeah, no overnight guest, but then they'll sneak somebody into their room. You've either got to agree that people can have overnight guests or not. That's what was my opinion. I never reported anybody. No, that was always my opinion when I was in that room for 3 weeks. Um, yeah. Well, Brian's an example of how that wasn't true, right? But if that person had his own room and I had my room, eventually you've got to hopefully graduate to an apartment if you get legally married. Because you can't even hope that someone will give you an income to pay your own rent. But obviously, a married couple would want their own apartment. I mean, or at least be in a rooming house with overnight guests. But it gets kind of gross. You know what I mean? If you ever lived in a rooming house, yeah, it gets kind of gross. And there's a bunch of people, so you're like, who are you? I guess it shouldn't matter. Yeah, I guess it shouldn't matter, except that house that I was in was all women. That's why it matters, because if they started having men in there, for instance, change the channel. I can't believe she's going to drive all the way over here for that thing. She does need it, though. She needs that more than the bed. Well, she certainly can't take the bed out of here on her own. She wasn't saying the bed tonight, anyways. She wanted to try to get the bed tomorrow. I know. This is all I do is talk now. I don't have I typed anything since he died. It's just weird. Yeah, because clearly you're in your room. He's in the room next to you. Right, he's got the door open. She's down here. It's just weird. It's not like you're afraid of your neighborhood, but it's obviously you don't have a care in the world. It's like the safety of whatever. In a sense, it almost feels like a parent dying or something. You just go, but you're like not an adult. You just go, oh God. Yeah. I think it's like a reaction to everything. Like, clearly, I had my own house and my own children, and I was planning on living there with them. It's not that, it's just complications. Like, say this would never happen. Like, say this was my house and those two people were living here. Like, the situation was reversed and I was letting them live here. Obviously, when she got to the point of being that ill, because not all elderly people have that kind of an income, by the way, I would have to make a decision if it was worth it to me to keep her in the house, because I already own a house. So like, that's the presumption. I own a house. I pay all the bills. I'm not having people here out of necessity. Right. So then you make a decision if you're going to let her stay here till she dies, or you're going to put her in a nursing home. I don't know. I'd probably feel more obligated to do it. I got to be honest. I'd probably feel more obligated to do it, because then the guilt begins to set in that's why you're not doing it, right? Like, if you like, almost like she has no use to you anymore. Maybe that's what happened to Tommy. After about 1 year, he went, I can't just, what am I going to do with this person? Yeah, I mean, I can't, in a sense, see him feeling that like me, because he collected Social Security. He had a trailer and a truck. I know, it's like he completely got trapped in this. It seems to me that, I know, in terms of God, I think I should have just died and then Barbara. Because if I died before Barbara, I wouldn't have to worry about her dying and us all getting evicted again. He didn't have any of that because he collects Social Security. He'd have to worry about his mother dying, but he had a trailer and a truck and his own income. Right. And then I'd go back to the shelter. I figured that's what would happen. That's why I was like, maybe she'll go another year. Right. I'm like, I think I was like praying to God, just let her go another year so I don't have to go back to that shelter. I don't have to worry about what's going on. And then boom. I love how Danielle is talking to me like she doesn't even know who I am. Maybe she doesn't. She was not my caseworker that long, but she has my file. She goes, I see that you don't have any suspensions. No. I just talk stuff, and I talk it when I'm not even in the shelter. I talk it on the internet. Oh, if it's warranted, I'm not saying that's going to be that's not my goal in life. I guess I'm not just ready yet to like tune out, because I don't really get, yeah, it's weird. I don't really get, I don't know, it's not really that weird. I'm judging myself too much. I was doing this before he died, but it was for a different reason. I'm not as stressed out as I was. That's one thing that maybe God mentioned, excuse me, yesterday. If he could actually hear me talking at all, maybe it made him feel better. Yeah, because he'd be down here yelling at her about migrants and stuff. So if he could hear me talking real loud into a camera like that, yeah, because it seemed like he couldn't relate to Cindy. I remember just recently, remember I got mad at him, but he didn't know that I was saying it on this thing. Yeah, she just doesn't get it. She's still working.
I love it because one, this is not underwire, it's smooth out your back. It doesn't give you back fat and back rolls. You can wear this in your t-shirt and it wouldn't leave any marks.
Yeah, like he, after like whatever happened to him, I think he felt probably really ostracized or whatever from the world. So it was probably nice to him to have a person who was like me. Even though you don't probably wish ill upon people, but he could, it made him feel better about himself and maybe not so alone, like weird stuff happening to another person. Yeah, just at least I was someone from his perceptions that was not just keep chugging along. Yeah, he said he was on a work strike. I think he just told himself that. Oh, come on. But I remember that time he got mad about Scott getting mad about something. Oh, he's just mad I got my Social Security. You could tell he was starting to feel guilty. So the witch. Oh my God, remember that? Who are you talking about? He must have viewed me like that when Al and I started buying a house. Like we didn't never had houses, but we lived in 3 different houses. He must have started getting mad at that. He must have viewed us like that. Yeah, it's the witch. That's what he's always be saying. You just go, I don't know what that word means. I know, it's the rich. Look at you. You got a trailer, a truck, $2,000 a month. Your mother's getting $3,600 a month. Like, what are you talking about? The rich.
Now in custody, authorities learn that Howard Sangster had a notable past. Howard Sangster was arrested and charged with bank robbery.
I guess I'll probably shut this off now. I think I could sleep, and then unfortunately she's supposed to be coming over, but I guess I should probably shut this light off. That requires me getting up. Maybe I won't even do that right now. I don't sleep with lights on. No, it's just I realize that little light right there must always be on. It's like must be like a little night light she wants. The hall light. Did I shut it off last night? I think I kept the hall light on, but I didn't have any lights on in my room. When I was little, I had to sleep with the light on in my room, whatever that was. Like I was wicked afraid of the dark when I was little. Like I could sleep with the lamp right on. Yeah. But yeah, no, typically I'd shut that off. And sleeping here, I wonder if that ever bothered her having that light on. Yeah, it's like right in your eyes. These doors are supposed to be closed. Like she probably liked it at first because they looked at this house before her stuff was in it. She thought that was probably what he told her. And then all this shit was piled in front of a door so she couldn't close it. Right. Like it was probably supposed to be so she could close those doors for privacy, and these two rooms were her bedroom. I know you go, why put a dining room table in it though? But yeah, like clearly though they did this so that you could close those two doors, and this is a big bedroom. So
it's 2003, just 1 week after Frederick Banks was discovered dead in his garage. The police feel confident they've apprehended the right man, but there's always
I didn't want to watch this. It's supposed to be I don't even know any of the channel numbers. It's supposed to be Datelines on after this.
Prosecutors need to build an airtight case, so this time justice will be served.
Do these still have the voice ones? They used to be one you press a button and then you say the show or the channel or something.
Fred Banks' neighbor recognizes Howard Sangster as the stranger who spoke.
I know this is asking a lot to see from this far away. I haven't had a TV and I haven't had access to a TV in years. I don't really think I've ever been mad about the fact that he didn't set up cable in the room I was in. You never know. People do weird things. Like, I don't know if he would have done it on purpose, but it's possible he did, because I remember when he told Barbara that she was here to be taught compassion, and I went, "Oh my God, yeah." That he may have told himself that's what he was doing. He was becoming a teacher of mine, and then because he was in a room with no TV? I thought about that. It cost money. They were already set up to pay for 2 televisions. And it was just like I said. Another thing that Cindy didn't know what she was talking about. Because I told her, and she goes, "Yeah, but that was at the other house." I go, "I was getting the emails right before he picked me up in Quincy. It was automatic. It's automatically deducted off of Barbara's money. So until the VA changes that, it would be whoever takes over her money, right? Yeah, until the 17th, this will be on, I would assume, yeah. Because they're not even meeting with Cindy until then. Yeah, and then she already told me herself, and I told Candy, that she told me they told her they're meeting her at her house on the 17th, and that she won't be able to take any money out until May 1st, even though clearly nothing's been done for April. I know it's weird how it's probably going to amount to nothing, but it is interesting, isn't it? I don't think, how would these people all be talking to each other? Right? It's just almighty. So you go, it's like this when people have something like this happen. yeah, when you have certain dates that stuff has to be done by, then you just wait for those dates to come and calm down, right? Because we haven't even met with the funeral home yet. So it is nice when some people are sort of like, I guess not me, and go, well, take her right now, right? And they just go, yeah, just don't worry about it because the security deposit, because that's true, and then just worry about it. It gives me almost 30 days, right? So it is nice when people are like that. It's something to remember if that ever comes up in life for me. That's something I would remember, right? Like it. I don't have to be taught a lesson. It's just a topic that never came up, and I think sometimes we don't know that that's something that you would discuss with your children and stuff because throughout life maybe, right, things, topics came up and they hear you talking and they pick up on things that you're doing and saying. You don't have to teach like regular children like that, but you should be a little bit, I guess, kinder, a little bit more sort of kind and respectful when people have lost like that, especially when it's sudden. um, right, because there's been times before where Tommy was late on the rent, and you just go, yeah, it's got to be. He might let it go. I don't know if he would ever let it go till the 16th or the 17th, but at the beginning, maybe he was new to paying the rent. Yeah, because that was weird when I first got here, and he's like, it was due, but then I let it go. He was like a month and a half late on the rent, and the guy didn't evict us. Yeah, that was when he went to South Carolina to visit Kathy. I know you just go. And then there was one time because he mentioned it, and then Cindy goes, "Yeah, he's been borrowing money from me," and I was like, "Oh my god, this is bad. I just got here." All right, I think I'm gonna fall asleep. So